Lviv, with ancient architecture and magnificent atmosphere, a European city with Ukrainian soul, where everyone drinks coffee, savors chocolate, and plays chess.
Chess capital of Ukraine, the city of Lviv, hosts the FIDE Women's World Chess Championship match this spring from 1st till 18th of March. Maria Muzichuk from Ukraine and Hu Ifan from China will come together in a duel for the title of Women's World Chess Champion.
18 days, 10 games, impressive chess battles and uncompromising fight.
Witness the birth of the next chess queen in the city of Lviv.
What would be cool to have in your company? Let's ask our ladies.
Have my lunch in the park. Have a relaxing massage.
Band and acquire.
Looking for your IT partner? Symphony Solutions. Cool to work for, cool to work with.
Мріяти – загальновідома формула успіху. Мріяти і діяти – формула, якою керуються перші. Прагни першості.
I've always wanted to introduce them. Classic style, elegance, sense of rhythm, slow tempo, tart flavor. They've so much in common. Scent of rain and flavor of sweets. They know how to surprise day and night. Being with them makes me feel cozy. Which one of them do I love more?
Lviv is worth meeting.
Не боятися падінь – загальновідома формула успіху. Мати силу встояти – формула, якою керуються перші. Прагни першості.
What would be cool to have in your company? Let's ask our ladies.
Chat with my colleague at the fireplace. Morning yoga classes.
To have my coffee served.
Looking for your IT partner? Symphony Solutions. Cool to work for, cool to work with.
Good afternoon, dear chess fans. We are here from Lviv from Women World Championship match. World champion Maria Muzachuk plays against former world champion Hu Yifan from China. We are international grandmaster Vitak Rivoruchko.
Good afternoon, and grandmaster Andrian Makhachevsky.
First of all, I have very nice duty today. Today is International Women's Day, and I want to greet Vita with this nice holiday. Yeah.
And we wish all women to have flowers not only during this holiday, but during all year.
And especially to women, to women chess players, which are now increases their quantity. There are more and more girls are playing chess, and it is always extremely important that much more girls are entering chess. So now game will start. The main question is, will Hu Yifan repeat e4, and it will be open Spanish as it was 2 games, which Hu Yifan played with white color. Today is different situation because there is new system in the matches that after 4th game players are changing colors. So it means that Hu Yifan plays 2 games with white in a row.
According to the contract, of course.
Yes. No, not just according to new system. In every match, in men's, in the men and women chess matches, they are now changed according to some, let's say, I don't know, mathematical rules or something. It is special design, but still, you know, Maria started first game with white, but now 5th game, and as a result of 5 games, there are 3 games with white for Hu Yifan and 2 games for Maria with white color. And today first move will be done by football players from Karpaty, Lviv. Yes, and Hu Yifan now explains which move she would like to play. So she started with c2, c4. Absolutely different move. Not e4 anymore. But in match strategy, it is quite common, despite the match is not so long. But on the other hand, match is still quite long, that opponents will know each other very well. Maria answered with c6 with the intention to play Slav. So it is. Let's say her repertoire for this match probably is designed to play Slav. Now it's knight f3, and we cannot say that it will be Slav, because for sure it will be transformation. After c4 or knight f3 moves, they are allowing a lot of transformations here. If now d2, d4, it will be Slav, but maybe Hu Yifan will choose, he played g3, she played g3. So it means that she wants to play some mixture of Reti, maybe with some other openings. Now we will see, because even now it's possible f5 move to transfer into Dutch. Maria answered with g6. So Maria wants to have some interesting line, more connected with Grunfeld defense now. Yeah. Now after d4 is classical Grunfeld defense position.
I want to say that Hu Yifan played 2 times c4 move.
And nobody played against her c6. Yes.
Last year, I mean.
Yeah.
But Maria
maybe she had with d4, c6, d5. Maybe she had this transposition. Yes. Once more, here are so many transpositions. Transpositions. It's very difficult to imagine what can be now. Now it's not clear at all which kind of position we will have after a few moves. Hu Yifan is thinking, so she plays bishop g2. Of course, here there are different options which are connected with the pawn sacrifice. Yes, dc4. dc4 is always possible. Some players play queen c2. Some players don't care. Some players play knight a3. So there are many options here, and it is interesting. But Maria has intention not to play dc4, not to take pawn on c4. She decides to continue her own development, own strategy, opening strategy. Probably she prepared some mixture of Slav and Grunfeld for this match. Maybe Slav for a bit slower game, And for more aggressive attitude, she prepared some kind of Greenfield. Of course, it's very difficult to say. We didn't see it yet. We can just, let's say, imagine. Okay, for example, we can say if she plays c6, it is probably a repertoire of one of her trainer, Pavel Eliano, who trained her recently. Probably. So once more, it's you know, there are secrets in the preparation. We cannot say it for sure. Who knows? Both players keep in secrets. They kept even in secret their trainers till to 1 week before the match. So it's absolutely normal, let's say, attitude, normal behavior of players which are involved in this match. Now Maria has some idea to play e5, but I'm not sure that she will dare to do it. It can be very interesting. It can be very interesting option here.
We have guest.
We have guest. Just a second. We will take microphone. A microphone is here. Yeah. A microphone is here. Now we will put the microphone. I will place you somewhere here.
Попроси, щоб камеру поправили.
Somehow. Like this. We'll try to do it in this way. So I hope that it will okay. So we want to introduce our guest. Please introduce yourself.
Yeah, my name is Oleg Borysyuk, and I'm from Lviv.
Yes, you know, from Lviv. It's our parliament member from Lviv. It's nice to have politicians here.
I'm working in the parliament.
Yeah.
Head of the fraction of Samokomich.
Yes. It's very nice to have you here. But first, what are your connections with chess? Do you like this game, or?
No, I have no connection with chess. I have children who have a connection with chess. I'm just playing, and especially now they kind of, you know, the epidemics in my house, because I just came from Kiev and from traveling throughout Ukraine, and when I'm just opening my eyes in the morning, I have a chess in front of me, and I have to do this.
But it's great because, you know, chess was always popular in Ukraine, especially in Lviv. We are chess capital, as everybody knows. And just recently, all over the world, they established that chess is very useful in schools for development of kids.
That's the point.
It's developing logical thinking, decision making, concentration,
cognitive flexibility.
Yes.
Yeah. I think actually we were talking about this in Lviv for many years when I used to work here as a deputy mayor, and we actually established now in school the permanent chess trainings for the children from the 1st grade to the 11th.
Yeah.
So this is the not mandatory, this is the obligatory, and so it's very important. And now using the championship, we would like to do this in Ukraine.
Yeah.
Because I was just traveling to Mykolaiv, Mykolaievska Oblast, Odessa, Yuzhne. They're very interested to follow this example of Lviv. And I think it's very important now to promote it.
Yes, it's a really great step of not just of our government, of our local authorities.
It's nothing about government.
Yes, I mean,
it must be at the local authority, because this is the more important.
But you know what was the problem? I am the chairman of FIDE, International Chess Federation Trainers Commission. I am working with trainers, and we have another commission, Chess in School. And the main problems there are two problems. First problem, education of teachers, which will educate.
Have to find
kids,
trainers.
Trainers kids in every school.
Very important.
There are two
Not to
ways.
train sportsmen,
yes,
to train the people who just play.
Yes, teachers who will show how to do it. And most countries use this way to give some courses to teachers, and then teachers are teaching. But it is not easy. It's some process. It's necessary to have some 1-2 years to give broader education courses.
But you know, I don't believe in the central government.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
But you're in parliament.
Yes, that's why we are promoting the self-reliance in the cities. We have to promote it from city to city. For example, the city of Lviv wanted to have a championship and fight for this.
Yes, and fight.
And we would like, and many other cities and many other people in the cities, in Kharkiv, Mykolaiv, Odessa, Chernihiv, want to do the same. Let's them spend money for this.
For useful things,
yeah,
yes.
Not to wait for the government to spend money, because usually those money is very heavy.
Yeah.
So we have to promote to do people not waiting for anybody to help.
Absolutely.
Because it's not
right.
expensive.
Yes, it's the cheapest sport.
So they have to spend money to train teachers.
Yes.
That's not expensive.
Not expensive.
And they have to, and I would think the local businessmen and the parents would help.
Would help, of course.
There's no
parents
problem
always are helping in every sport. Parents are the most interested persons.
My idea is not to wait to any ministry to do it by themselves. And we're gonna promote it from Lviv.
Absolutely right.
Yeah.
But you know, as I know, we are making different programs for trainers, how to educate them. We have just finished today trainer seminars for trainers of Ukraine, FIDE seminar, and we are making.
This is the professional.
Yes, professional, which are working clubs.
Yeah.
And then in schools, either they're working too, they have some groups. But the main problem here, second problem, first education of teachers. Second problem is there are programs. Because programs, they have to be a bit changed nowadays. Because they have these programs which they use, first of all, they have to have different special exercises to teach logical thinking, to teach, to educate decision making. What you will do, for example, 3 options and to make a choice, you know. But this is not developed. Programs are still old-fashioned. We have to work more seriously in this program direction.
So we have to ask our IT companies.
No, IT companies can do, but I mean this chess part, to make the chess content differently exposed.
Okay.
To make immediately kids understand that some logic. Why is this and not this?
So probably some experience in other countries we should have.
In other countries, yes, there is some experience, but still we have so strong chess, let's say, established. We have chess, this sports university, we have chess department. We have strong methodists here, and we have to move here in this direction, and we can do a lot.
So this is the way we're supposed to do.
Yes,
I would promote it now I'm traveling a lot because of my functioning, and we especially promoting intellectual plays and actually art.
Yeah.
For example, I was very surprised that I received the information that Ministry of Education reduced the number of hours spent for arts in school. I think this is crazy. This is like things like to do with the chess, and especially with the first, second, third, and 7th grades. So we have to, in school, they have to learn how to think.
Yeah.
This can be done by chess, not by only mathematics, algebra, or calculus, and by art.
You know, it was famous Ukrainian pedagogue Sukhomlinsky, who was big fan of chess and who told one fantastic quote. He told that without chess, pedagogical process in school is impossible. It was great. It was said 50 years ago.
So I think we are moving very fast, even though it seems very slow.
No, we are doing very fast. Maybe in one moment a bit too fast, because we did not create a program.
Exactly, that's why I agree with you. And Lviv can be an example of this.
Absolutely.
So we have a program in school. We have a fantastic championship that's going to be promotion for this in all Ukraine. And we just have to go with the FIDE and other professional organization from city to city, and to promote it from the grassroots.
Yes,
it's much better.
But we don't have promotion for one thing which you even don't know. We started here in Lviv chess education in kindergartens.
Yeah, I know it.
Yes,
I know it.
Fantastic place, Horodok. There is some fantastic chess functionary and chess trainer, Mykola Matvienko. He had in chess kindergarten fantastic chess lessons. Everybody enjoys it, and kids are singing about some chess.
But you know, this is the personality.
Yes.
You have to find these personalities. They can do it professionally and charismatically.
Yes, I mean such experience has to be promoted to the whole Ukraine.
Listen, this is very interesting. For example, to take this trainer and to make the master class
in other regions to show it. You know, we wanted to show
constantly, for example, in Lviv University or Lviv Catholic University, to make it a course.
Yes, making course.
Yeah.
It is a very good idea, yes.
Let's do this.
Let's do this, because this education, how kids enjoying it.
Because he is talented, so he have to share this experience, not only in Horodok,
even
though Horodok is very important.
But for Horodok is some, let's say, small city, very small. And it was not known for any sports, but he was working there for 20 years, and Vita is from Horodok, and he created few grandmasters, you know, in Horodok.
He's my first coach.
Your first coach, incredible.
Listen, let's do this. I would talk to the rector of University of Catholic University, you know, and we have to just make this course.
Yes.
It would happen one time a year for example 2 months. And people can use it.
Of course.
Like postgraduate.
Postgraduate,
yeah?
yes. To use, always use for teachers to have some additional skill.
Yeah.
If they have additional skills, they are
let's think
better
about this.
teachers simply.
Let's think about this.
Yes,
so we have
great.
I have a good assignment.
Yes, thank you very much. But thank you very much for support, because not many, let's say, politicians now are supporting more chess because after these new researches about usefulness of chess. But you know, even chess they found now in medicine, the chess is very good medicine against Alzheimer.
I know, I'm a doctor.
You're a doctor. Yes, it's helping to to reduce these, let's say, problems.
The problem is we have to promote it from the earliest time in the human life.
Yes.
From the kindergarten we are doing in Lviv, from the school, and we have to produce the good trainers to do this. Because sometimes those trainers are too professional for the high quality, results.
Yes.
It's kind of from the Soviet Union that we are already preparing the Olympic winners.
Yeah.
We have to just
teach
how to do this in the everyday life.
Yes, and to teach it.
And I would like to that my sons would come to me in the morning and just try to
Papa, how do you play here?
Yeah, they will never be probably the chess champions, but who knows? But it's not necessary.
Why not?
But it's not necessary, you know.
Yeah.
It's necessary to play the chess instead of play games and the computer.
Yes, it's much more useful, because nowadays it's easier. Another problem that most of kids are playing these computer games.
But I want to tell you, this is promotion is really working, because I just can see it by my sons. For 1 week they are not playing at all games. They're playing chess.
Because they
I'm
have
surprised.
no time.
I want to tell you, I'm surprised. I cannot believe it, because usually you have to push them to do this. But all of them, and
it's great.
It's interesting and it's surprising. And I just had one day in Lviv, and I came here with them today just to push it even more.
To show them the atmosphere of the championship.
Yeah, exactly.
And they will be. It's the power of chess that they stopped these computer games. It's a real power.
Yeah, that's true. So thank you very much for your job.
Thank you very much for coming.
We're gonna. May I have your card because of this good idea of masterclass?
Yes, it's a good idea. Just I will show. I have this international telephone because.
So we have some moves here.
Дякую.
Yeah.
I'm sorry?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And good luck to them and to Maria.
To Maria especially. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And all the best in your work.
Дякую.
So, and who if I played here, just a second, let's return to moves here. Here. We had very interesting guests, parliament member who is big supporter of chess, not even on the example of his kids, which is extremely important for chess development. So here was played Queen A4. Okay, here of course it was possible to transfer game into greenfield defense, yes. After D4, knight F6 would be classical position of the a bit boring greenfield defense, because it's very, let's say, central, very, let's say, very stable position in the center. Of course, we know if the position in center is very stable, so the game is a bit slower, nothing happens for some time. But Hu Yifan plays Queen A4 move. It's interesting move. Of course, some people's, it's some fashion nowadays to play such move. Personally, I don't believe in such moves. I don't like such move because, okay, black could play this knight F6 business.
But maybe it's something new. And
no, not so new. They play in different versions. This Queen A4 with D4, without D4. It's for some reason fashion, but telling honestly, I believe, and maybe some main idea is to transfer Queen here, then to play D4. Telling honestly, even this endgame is absolutely playable. Nothing wrong with this endgame. There is nothing wrong with the position. So. Personally, I don't evaluate this way of playing, let's say, very high. But okay, it is it is taste of the player, and if player likes such kind of position, it is the most important. So, but Marichka played pawn takes, queen takes, and E5 here. It's absolutely right. I remember maybe I even had such position, but I had this position, yes, maybe I had something similar in my games many years ago with black. So d3, and main idea now, if knight is not on f6, she can play knight e7. It is, okay, it is absolutely correct, because she wants to play at some moment knight f5, you know, knight has to come to f5 later. Yes, knight f5, and then knight controls very important square on d4. So after knight e7, Huifan played castle. Marichka doesn't want to castles. Aha, she played knight e6. I would prefer.
You don't like this?
I would prefer on knight e7 or immediately something like bishop e6. Bishop e6. Main idea probably was queen h4, and here is possible even maybe to play something like h6.
To prevent knight g5?
Or then to threatening g5 to kick, or f5 to play, or even some players like even to play f6 with the idea knight f5. But it's a bit more, let's say, not dangerous, but okay, playable. If bishop h6, then simply castle. Yeah. I played a few times similar position. Is absolutely playable. Yes. And okay, and Marichka played knight e6. If I would prefer, why is this? Because if queen plays to h4, then knight can, in some moment, knight can come to f6 when it will be necessary for better protection of the king side.
Oh, the pawn h7.
Yes, better protection. But knight e6 is a bit more to the not. I don't think that it is not okay. It's playable more, but a bit. Different construction. What she wants to play? What knight c7? But knight c7, knight d5. I can say that from d7 she could reach it the same way with knight b6, knight d5. Yes, or knight f6. It gives more options probably. For some reason, you see, I like to sometimes move knight a6 and then to transfer it to the center. It's playable absolutely, but a bit not very much central attitude. Yes. A bit knight is there, a bit, but okay, it's not nothing real, probably.
So the main idea of move knight a6 to play knight c7 and knight c to d5, or
yes,
what else?
C7, and sometimes some opportunity to jump to other place, maybe queen h4 someday to jump to c5, maybe. It's a flexible move, but a bit, you know, pieces are on the left or the right side on the border, let's say, yes, from our point, yes, and the play probably queen h4 will be sooner or later idea in some lines, not
to attack
not
on the
always,
king's side.
And then it's better to keep our you know, from the experience of trainers, pieces has better to keep together, you know. Knight d7, knight f6, keep pieces are together. Knight a7 goes to other side, you know, a bit.
Queen side maybe, or
yes,
to king side.
A bit, but okay, it's nothing really dangerous here for black, so it's absolutely playable move. But Maria is a bit more active player, as I am maybe, and her choice is immediately to try to activate her position somehow, to have more options, and to not to close bishop, yes, to have option bishop e6 always when she would like it, yes. Absolutely possible, no doubts, yeah. An interesting strategical play, I understand, yes. Very interesting strategical play, and very, let's say, a bit unusual. It was not very frequently happened in the practice, because white generally this queen a4, queen c4. Now it is not green field, it is some version of mixture. We cannot say exactly. It's English defense, or it is some reti. It is some mixture. You know, some people call it reti. Some people will tell us that it is some version of Slav. You know, it's a bit, let's say, opening without real name. Yes, let's say.
But they see this open new for both, because they began to think after
a bit
few moves.
But
again.
I don't know. What do you think? For whom is more useful? For Marichka or for Huifan? Useful to play new position. which they don't prepare at home, which they didn't analyze. Which
Okay,
they
it
cannot
was
practice.
Huifan choice to play knight f3, so
Yes.
maybe she knows something, she knows better this opening.
Not just that, maybe she decided not to go for the first line, which Marichka's team prepared last game well. It was good preparation for Marichka yesterday, not yesterday, before yesterday. It was good preparation, trainers worked well.
His coach.
Yes, her coaches worked well, so okay, then Huifan intention is not to go into this line once more, not to check this forced preparation, forced line, something like that. Yeah, but okay, it's absolutely normal attitude during the match, because if she, for example, player believes that he is stronger as a player, yes, as a player, so it's better to play position which they don't know both, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and if you, but when you repeat this theoretical opening, it is a danger that opponent will prepare better, yes. So it's necessary to escape, yes, to escape all preparation, yes. But okay, they prepared it somehow because they prepared knight f3, both what you will do against knight f3, but these preparations were just, let's say, not preliminary, they were partial, because there was no indication, no practice from both, no clear understanding that it can happen, yes. So they just in case, maybe yes, maybe not, yes. Such kind of preparation. But anyhow, it's interesting that position is strategical, and we will see how both players will play this strategical position. Of course, I think that Huifan believes that she is better strategical player than Marichka. She thinks it, yes. But once more, in one position it can work, in another not, because generally we count it everything on the basis of some statistics, yes. In one game you can play this position better, in another not. Bishop d2. Okay, some tricky move or what? Some tricky move. If now e4, what is this? Tricks, yes, cheap tricks. What now? Bishop c3 does not work because pawn takes, bishop g7 and pawn takes, yes. Bishop takes and pawn takes, yes. Maybe white. But what white can say? White can maybe try knight g5, yes. Attacking f7, and if castle.
Now bishop c3.
Bishop c3 now, yes. If pawn takes d3, what queen, bishop g7. Playable still, anything, even e3 possible, but a bit strange position, because black will play knight f5 if e3, black will play knight f5, and black will start to control this important central square, yeah?
And d3 pawn is weak.
Yes, and this knight is, and this knight is under attack, yes? After knight f5, this knight can be under attack, yeah? Knight on g5, so d4. e4 is, of course, Marichka is
began to think, yeah.
began to think, she began to calculate this.
And understand the move, try to understand.
Yes, understand. Okay, bishop c6 does not work, but this queen e4, can it be possible something like this, yeah?
If bishop takes b2?
b2 or even bishop f5 starting to develop one more piece. And then after queen h4, let us say take bishop b2. Of course, there is some more ideas to play bishop c3, because bishop a1 is too much dangerous. See all holes on the black squares, yes? Typical holes on the black squares. In such positions, better not to get, yes?
For black?
Yes. But it's necessary to play after bishop c3, knight c3, and what is this? Still some holes in the position, yeah? This holes, yeah, around, yeah? This, yeah? This are holes, queen f6 is a threat, yeah? Castle is dangerous, knight g5, but maybe this move is possible, yeah? Knight d5 now, yeah? Not clear what to take, yes? Take pawn d5 is not good. Queen h4 is bad, yes? Simply losing material, yeah? So, not e4 is okay. E4 is let's say, move to calculate, as always. There are rules of calculation. When we play chess, we calculate. Calculations are useful, necessary to be started with tactics, with tactical tricks. Is tactical moves working, or with some captures, yes? Because there is direct attack, e4 is direct attack. So we told what? We told queen e4, yeah? But
yeah, queen e4, it's
because
interesting.
d4 I don't believe so much. d4 is something wrong with it, because will be bishop b2 and queen is not coming to... No,
yes,
not
we cannot use queen h4 and
maybe
h6.
this is possible, yeah? But okay, this is not so big deal, yeah? Generally, okay, let's check bishop b2, bishop c3, yes? Bishop c3, queen is bishop e6. And black has to be okay, yes, queen a4. But here is different. Here maybe it's possible to take even, yes, and to castle, yes. And then to play f6, yeah, to try to close it. But then bishop.
Maybe
okay.
bishop f6,
Yes.
e5, and queen h4, something
Yeah,
like this.
Yes, it can be. It can be. It's always, always problem. So to avoid this business, is necessary better to take probably, yes, this bishop, yeah. And what is kind of position? Still, there are some holes you see in the black position, like this, e5, knight e4. Yeah, it is strategically development can be dangerous. Yes. So e4. Okay, black. But what is the big idea of bishop c3? It is not a very dangerous. Idea is if she plays castle, yes. Who we find ideas probably is to play bishop c3, yeah? A bit artificial idea, I must say, artificial. Black plays bishop e6, yes. Okay, queen h4, where to go else?
If knight f5, I can take
knight
the queen
f5,
and then on
e5,
yeah.
But we can play f6, yes, as we played. And then knight f5 to try, yeah? Because d4 now doesn't work. I don't believe that it can work.
Yeah.
Knight f5, then
dangerous.
Yeah, black has very good development. Yes, no problems. All pieces are developed. What we need in our life. Yes, if I know the rule. If pieces are developed, okay, I'm not afraid of anybody. If he's not undeveloped, yes, okay, except there is some cheap or direct attack. Yes, direct threats. Yes, if pieces are developed, it means that we will manage somehow. Yeah, we will manage to find good move. Because development of pieces is a key for every action. Yes, without development, you cannot start any action. Yeah, so development is a key. Yeah. So it was.
So you see how it's interesting. You offer to play knight d7, and actually knight on d7 protects the pawn on e5.
Yeah.
Maria played knight a6, and immediately Huifan used it.
Yes,
bishop d2, bishop
I told
c3.
you, knight is out of the game for some time and not clear. I played this position many times. I had huge experience here and with black. It is okay. It is accidentally that I have such huge experience here in such kind of positions. But as I know that knight better to be closer to our own king, yes, and to be ready to transpose it to f6 somehow closer to the king, yes, because white intention is to play some moment queen h4. But I must tell you that bishop d2 for me is very unexpected move, very unexpected move. I couldn't imagine that bishop d2. Telling honestly, maybe. Okay, queen h4 even possible. Queen h4 is they don't like because before castle, this move is not recommended. Why? Because after this it's possible to play h6 and then g5, yeah, and then g5, yeah. So this move queen h4 is necessary to make after castling, yes.
Yes, Maria played castle against side, so she didn't play e4.
Okay, she calculated obviously this e4 move.
Yes, of course.
It is necessary to calculate. It is first option. Yes, always calculate direct attacks, yeah, in the position. So now time for.
Huifan smiling, you see?
Yeah. So what? You mean that she was a bit afraid of e4?
No, I don't know.
But she played e4 because e4, this bishop b2 positions are generally, I can't say they are difficult to evaluate, but it's necessary to spend some time to evaluate how it works, yes, because it is changing of all strategy here, yeah.
She notes something.
You see, she's a bit nervous. There are nervous gestures.
I
replacing
think
jump or something like this.
She
it's all the
had
sign of
this position at home, and she tried to remember.
No, this is not possible. 96.
Do you think?
Oh, 96. Never she could have this position. She has some structure of this she would like to play. Structure. The structure she wanted, but
and she tried to understand the difference.
Yes, you see, she is not a bit. She is now looking on her score sheet that something is unclear here. I don't understand what. It is some joke. It's nice about some girls' game, but it is not for the International Women's Day. It's a joke. There are two girls are playing. Not very experienced players, and they don't know openings very well. And some moment one of them is very much. They both are confused, but one of them plays very untheoretical moves. And this girl says, "Sorry, I don't understand what are you playing. I am playing personally Spanish, but what are you playing? I don't understand at all." So they say, "What we are playing now? I don't understand."
Which opening? Yeah.
Telling honestly, Bishop D2 is really a bit a special move, but what would be the natural move here? Of course, natural move would be something like Knight C3, yeah? It would be natural, yeah? And then trying to transfer. But then after castle, for example, then after castle, Queen H4, it would be simply Knight F. No, computer has own ideas, but our ideas are right, yeah? So Queen takes, Rook takes. It is the idea, yes. Stopping, then Knight D4 jumping. And black position is very much okay here.
What if after castle kingside, Bishop C3?
No, here you mean, yes? After castle,
after Maria's move.
Bishop C3, yeah. So as we told, we calculated
Bishop
this.
E6, yeah.
Queen has to go, because queen cannot come to B4. Otherwise, queen could come to B4 someday, maybe with some threats, yes? If not, knight on A6. Queen here, H4, and here it's attack. Threat is knight G5 either, so double threats. And this, there are two ideas, yes, two threats. And generally in chess, if it is double attack, it is necessary to find double defense, yes. And F6 move is perfect in this sense, yes. Protects E5 and protects square G5, yeah. And is preparing knight F5, yeah. I don't see anything wrong. Black is good development. Very important, good development and center. Because black center is slightly better, telling honestly. Because black has pawn on E5, white has pawn on D3. So, if this center is not attacked, then black center is slightly better. It does mean that black has advantage. But it is comfortable stuff. Very comfortable stuff, very, very sympathetic. So what to do now, yeah?
I'm thinking about G4 with the idea to stop knight F5, but it's too weak for the king.
Yes. Okay, she's thinking very interesting moment now. But now let's remind our previous guest, Parliament member Berezyuk, who is the leader of party Samopomich in Parliament. He's very
in our city.
Yes, no, not city, in Kiev.
In Kiev also?
In Ukrainian parliament, yes. He was before, he was deputy mayor. Before now he is in Kiev. And we discussed about kindergartens. And we discussed about Horodok. You are yourself from Horodok. And you was one of the first pupils of Mykola Matvienko, or not?
Yes.
One of the first. When he started his school?
Then I was 5 years old, so it was near
2000, yes?
Not 2000, 2003.
2003?
Yeah.
No, when you were 5 years old, you would be plus
No,
93,
something like this.
1993, yes. He started, yes.
And
at school, yeah?
No, it was kids garden. Yes, he was a coach, not only actually chess, he was coach also in swimming pool.
Oh yeah.
Yes, so he tried to do for kids.
Multi-coach, yes, it's great to have one person which can do a lot of things and can teach kids a lot of activities.
Yes, and we have groups near 30 kids, I think. I didn't want to play chess.
Yes.
My daddy pushed me.
Yes,
He
yes.
asked me to play 2 weeks and to see will I like it or no. And after 2 weeks, I came to my daddy and I said that, okay, I don't want to study chess anymore. So can I stop to go to this chess group?
Chess group, yes.
Because, you know, I wanted to play with now girls, with dolls, and I didn't want to play chess to study how pieces move and etc. It was not interesting
but you
for
couldn't
me.
imagine in this age that it will become your
Yes,
profession.
of course, I couldn't imagine this. But this coach, Mykola Matvienko, he told my daddy that I have some talent and they should develop it. And they thought how to motivate me to play chess. And he saw that I like to play in swimming pool very much. So he told me, Vita, if you want to go to swimming pool, you should study chess.
Yes, tricky. Your mother was nice pedagogical. So,
I had no choice.
Great idea, yes.
I like to play to swim in swimming pool, so I should study chess. But then we began to play in the tournaments, and we came first time to Lviv. I think our team lost all games, but it was very interesting for me. We began to travel to Poland, to another countries, to Czech Republic. And then I was 10 years old. I had a low rating near 21.46. So I began to study professional chess, and in school I have second coach, Vladimir Hrabinsky. So it's very interesting system to have coach in kids garden, after that in school, and maybe in university.
And it started to work. And how many strong players produced
We
your
have
school
in our
Horodok?
city 2 international masters, me a woman grandmaster, 1 FIDE master in our city, and a lot of people who are coaches right now, and they are not FIDE masters or international masters or grandmasters, but they teach kids how to play chess right now in our Horodok Chess Club.
Yes, it's great. Horodok is somewhere around 15 kilometers from Lviv. How big is Horodok? How many people live in Horodok?
I think 20,000, something like
20,000,
this.
yes. So small city and such nice project, such nice group which started. Mykola Matvienko is really great when you find such person who would do a lot for kids with his energy, with his abilities to convince. Probably it was necessary to convince, let's say, school directors and other people that they have to give hours for chess. The kids would play chess. It was really great, I think. Great idea. So he's one of the most important persons, like Mykola Matvienko, local organizers, are most important person for development of chess. Without such persons, okay, not just for chess, it's for everything, for every activity. It all depends on the people's ambitions, people's ability to work with kids, to convince them to play chess. It's great. It's absolutely great. What this not experiment, I mean, it's not experiment anymore. It is real. There are real achievements.
Yes.
Yeah. So with Mykola Matvienko did fantastic job, of course, and he has to be, I think, he has to be appreciated for his services for chess. Very nice person, and it is great stuff for us. Oh, Queen C1. Queen C1 played. Yeah.
So that was the idea of move Bishop D2?
Yes. So Queen C1. So now idea is clear. What idea? Queen C4, Queen C1. A bit, let's say, not idea is just, let's say, classical. Yes, if Queen would be on D1, to play Queen C1 would be classical idea to exchange black squares bishop, white to exchange, because first of all, black squares bishop is a bit not strong. Second, black wants to push pawns on black squares. Black could play even c5, you know. I mean c5, and to place all the pawns on this, let's say, Here it is attack on g6, something like this, yes, and then bishop e6, bishop d5, transposing to Maroczy structure, which is very considered to be very solid, yes. So white, in this sense, wants to get rid out of this bishop. It is Capablanca rule. If opponent wants to, he places pawns on some colors, then you have to exchange this bishop on these colors, yes? Not to have problems, yeah? Of course, it is clear strategy, but to make maneuver queen a4, c4, c1, it is a bit unusual, I would say, yes? Because
yes,
queen was on c4, queen was designed to come to h4, yeah? So it's still now black can play knight f5. What is the problem? Knight f5 is playable move here to stop
bishop
this,
h6.
Yeah, no, bishop h6 now not possible.
No, I mean to stop
yeah.
bishop h6.
Yes, bishop h6 and then to prepare. But it was necessary to play bishop e6. But bishop e6 is not possible now. Like for example, knight c3 or knight a3, knight c4 is possible. Yeah? Because this square is back. But knight on c3 is not very active. Maybe this. You see some developments like this. Yes. Absolutely playable position for black. No problems at all. Queen d7, rook c8, maybe c5 later, maybe b5. So black is very comfortable. I played this position very much. Chinese player likes center very much, and she is, let's say, very not can say very classical, but she is central player. She likes to have some central, let's say. Not advantage in the structure, but some improvements. What Marichka played?
Knight f5.
Knight f5, yes, as we told, yes. Because d4 is strategically the most important square here, and Huifan is not very satisfied, as I see her face, and her movements of her suitor a few minutes before this queen c1 showed that she doesn't like this direction which she started, yes, this queen on a fourth rank, yeah? She didn't like it. So it was the reason that she moved back with queen. Such move is, I can't say passive.
Knight a3,
yeah. Everything is according to the plan, yeah. So bishop e6 would be nice, but bishop e6 will be followed by knight g5. So. But f6 to play, sometimes it's possible knight d4, sometimes, after preparation. One thing, but maybe bishop e6 to play, what is this business, yes, knight g5, yeah, and knight d4. And then trying to play bishop d5. If knight e6, of what is
knight
this?
Takes e2.
Knight takes e2, king h1, pawn e6, maybe pawn e6, who cares? Queen c4, first knight d4 back, yes? Pawn is a pawn. Even it is double, we say it's invalid, not a pawn, but it is a pawn, and knight is in the center, yeah? So maybe what to play after knight d4? If something like rook e1, let's say, that one option is to continue kicking white this square, yeah, one another option, or even bishop d5, because white answers e4, left is followed by bishop e6, and knight on d4 is unchallenged.
Yes.
Not possible to do anything. We are very much satisfied with our life, yeah.
And pawn on d3 is weak,
yeah,
so.
pawn on d3, okay, it is.
So e4 is a bad move.
Yeah. So okay, knight f4, knight f. What was played? Knight a3, yes. Knight d4, knight d4 sometimes is played in such kind of positions, and it is typical way of handling this kind of stuff. Rook e8, for example,
because
attacking
pawn
e2.
e2.
Yes, then bishop e6, and then trying to play bishop d5, and bishop d5, and to exchange this bishop. Okay, if not something like bishop f4 here, just idea knight d6. What can be this? Can be this? Is it true?
Rook e6, rook
no,
e7.
Bishop d5 is this right? Yes. Then double pawns. Yeah. So maybe not bishop f4. Threat is knight d6. Yes. How to stop it? how to stop it. Okay, many ways are here. Queen d7. Okay, bishop f8 is not such a big deal. Bishop f8 is even possible, but it's not okay. But okay, I mean that it is possible to be done from different angles, yeah. So, but f6, okay, f6 is the most. What I don't like with f6. If black plays this, I like very much, yeah, because this is great position. There are no doubts. It's just white could have problems, yes. I mean here maybe queen c4 check back, yes, check.
King h8.
Yes. Okay, now idea is queen d6 or queen e7, bishop e6, yeah? It's necessary to... And d4 is not possible. e4, maybe e4 and d4, yeah? Because this is not great. This is not great position, as it will be f4 even, you know, f4, f5. It is knight c2 possible. If this, then this, yeah? And this pawn will be under attack, yeah? Sooner or later. Yeah?
Yes, yes.
So it is not our dream, yeah? Maybe it is the reason, yes? Queen c4, this, e4, yeah?
Maybe instead e4, white has better move.
No, e4 is good move, but what else? Because black wants to play queen e7, bishop e6. If black plays this, black is okay. But this e4 I don't like, because it changes...
But do we need to play knight d4, maybe knight d6, something like this?
Yes, knight d6, but then, okay, then queen c2, white wants to play e4, d4. Okay, there is possible like this.
To push c5, yes.
Yeah, and then bishop e6, and queen d7.
So I don't like this pawn on d3 and pawn structure.
It is possible, yeah, it is interesting. It's interesting very much, yeah. But if maybe here to kick e4, you know. Here, if now knight d4, knight takes. If queen takes, then queen c4 check, yeah, and this. But still, this is easily playable. But now idea is a bit different. Now white wants after bishop a6 to play something like knight a5, yeah, and to attack this pawn, yeah.
Rook f7.
Rook f7, yeah, still playable. Yeah, then f4 on. Then f4,
rook d8, yeah.
Oh no, rook d8, take rook f7, knight e7, maybe rook d7, yeah.
Rook d7, yeah. And then double the rooks on d5.
Yes, and then to solve this problem of this knight, yes. But still, this b7 I don't like. This from experience, this b7 is some pressure on this square, which I don't like very much. Yeah? Okay, it is nothing. It's not deadly at all. Yeah? It's absolutely playable, but I believe that black has to have better options. Yes, here after knight c4. So f6 is a bit, you know, I played these positions this kind many times, and I played one way, another way, similar positions. And of course, all these moves which we discussed are playable, absolutely playable. But it's always interesting to find the most, let's say, proper solution, the most easiest solution. This bishop e6 is more tactic. You have to calculate tactics. Yes, this and this, yeah. And then bishop d5 or bishop g4. This kind. Okay, and it is development. You know, development is the key. Yes, always.
Yes,
if you are developing, it's okay. You are going in the right direction. Yeah. If you are not developed, oh guys, it can be a problem. But it's absolutely logical play. Yeah, bishop e6. So let's see what Marichka will play and how we'll do. So, you know, what we discussed about your club in this small city, Horodok, is really great. Then in such small cities, they are developing chess. And once more, important is the person. If person comes, this person will promote chess, other sports, among young kids, you know, showing them benefits of chess, benefits of sports activity. It is great. Such people are the most important persons for the area, for the city, for the village. With such people, you know, all development is, let's say, poor. Yeah?
Yes.
But everything depends on people. People, if they can do it, they can do it. If they don't want, they don't want.
During these 3 days, FIDE seminar for coaches, we discussed about talent. What do you think about talent? And do you think, for example, Maria and Huifan are talented chess players?
You know, the word talent is okay, very nice, because talent, in my opinion, is something which allows you to, let's say, to do something a bit better, to enjoy something more than others, yes, and to be able to work. Because in many cases, people I hear from many people, trainers, especially in former Yugoslavia, in which I worked a lot, the guy is big talent. But when they say about such guys, such people, some big talent, but it means that they are a bit lazy, not a bit, quite lazy. Yes, they believe the talent, you know, talent always
do everything.
Yes, the talent is forever and
the
it
most
works.
important.
But in reality, okay, talent. What means talent? Talent means that you can get some information faster than others. Yes, faster than others. And if this talent is really so important, then it could be compensated. For example, I know great player Richard Reti, yes? He wrote in one of his articles, I know that Alekhine and Capablanca are more talented than I am, yes? They're more talented, they get things much faster, but I work much more than they. And every day I will be stronger, a bit stronger, and a bit stronger, and in 10 years I will be stronger than they are. So it was a very nice expression how person can, let's say, eliminate this advantage of some, let's say, not I mean talent, of some abilities, maybe some abilities to catch things faster, yes? Not just abilities, but these abilities has to be supported with hard work. Those old world champions, not all. For example, it's known that Capablanca was not big worker. As his wife wrote in the memoirs, that they had not even chessboard in their home. Yeah, the same I know about Lindstein, great grandmother, our, let's say, not founder, but one of the fathers of View Chess School. That with our trainer, Viktor Emilovich Kart, who is great trainer, greatest trainer in, let's say, in the one of the greatest in the world. They were close friends, and after some tournaments in Argentina, they came to Lindstein flat, and he told, let us, let's say, look some games. I will show you some games, and I have very nice. I brought very nice wine from Argentina. Let's enjoy our, let's say, evening. And when they came, wine was founded, wine was drinked, and then started to look for chessboard, and they couldn't find chessboard in his place. So you see the same, similar like Capablanca. There were some more lazy players. Marichka played knight d4. I don't like. Okay, it is strategy. Sorry, knight a3, knight d4. Why move is part of the plan. Yeah, but I don't like to expose the plan so fast. Yes, better to develop and then to jump, because sooner or later black will jump to d4. Yeah. Okay, Marichka knows classical, let's say, development, because in this way she increases very strong pressure on e2. So it was invented by great. No, sorry, not rook f7. What is this? This not. Yes, knight d4, knight d4, knight c4. Yeah, knight c4, rook e8. Yeah? And here would be strong pressure over the file. Yeah. Very strong pressure. And two, it was plan which was invented in similar situations, in similar structures by great Akiba Rubinstein. Yeah? So it was invented 100 years ago practically, and it's very well known plan, and Marichka performs it. But I would, let's say, not modify this plan. I would prefer this plan a bit delayed, yes, delayed, and to be done a bit later.
But maybe she wanted, if after bishop e6, she cannot play this. She cannot attack on e2.
No, she can play this. White cannot avoid this. And I was thinking now, why we are insisting on knight d4? Why we don't play bishop d5? And if white will play e4, now we will jump to d4, and he will make white life on e2 very complicated. Yeah.
I mean, if, for example, she will develop bishop to e6 and play knight d4. Yeah, in the future, knight takes d4, e takes d4. She will close e file.
No. She plan is to exchange bishops additionally.
So before knight d4,
exchange
bishop
bishops
d4.
very useful because bishop g2 is stronger, very strong, and it's useful always to exchange it. Then king can be weak, can be attack h5, h4 started. You know, these all businesses around can start. Yes, exchange of y squared bishop is one part of the plan. Yeah.
So first of all, your idea before rook e8 and attack the pawn on e2 to exchange light squares bishop.
Yes, to play knight d4, bishop d5, slowly improving. Yeah. Okay, I have some, let's say, big experience in such positions, and I played this kind of structure a lot, so I can say what is okay. Knight d4 is classical plan, yes, and good plan. But in my opinion, it's not necessary to hurry with it. Yeah, there's nothing wrong. Yeah, but I mean that it's possible to make it in better environment, yeah? Much more friendly environment, let's say. So bishop e6 would be good, but okay, knight d4 is knight d4, yeah?
After knight takes d4, e takes d4, instead knight c4, can she play bishop h6?
Yes, it's her plan now to make this bishop, this pawn weaker, but I think that rook e8 will be played, or even bishop g4, just to check it, yes? Bishop takes, king takes, rook e1, rook e8, yes, very nice, so now f3 is not big deal.
Because if
queen d2, then black starts immediately, queen d7 is there, rook d8, or even to double, like rook e5, maybe rook h5 some days. And double on e-file to be able to transfer, and then it's time someday to come with knight c5, e6 maybe closer, yeah? Okay, it is quite playable position and very nice, but as I see, you see, Hui Fan is not big master of such positions. This is clear for me that she decided today to play, let's say, on her talent. Using the ability to understand position, let's say, well, she knows, okay, some patterns she knew in this position, but not very well. She is not very experienced. Like, for example, first game, they both were not very experienced in these Spanish structures. They were a bit, let's say, there is some very nice expression in Russian language, but in English, they were swimming, we can say. Они плавали, yes, they were swimming in this, because they didn't do things precisely, yes, precisely how it's necessary to be done. Yeah, it was clearly first game example of this kind of position. Yeah. Okay, it happens that every player comes first time into the position, even if it's world champions, and they are not very precise. It's life. You cannot be very precise in such situation in which you are not very much practiced. Yes, you have to be, let's say, expert always in some kind of positions. It's not easy at all to play this position properly. And so, you know, we discussed about talents. You know. It's very difficult to say that talent is automatical, some, let's say, guarantee for result. Without, and there are different, there is formula. What is the success? Is the talent multiplied to the work, yes? Talent multiplied to the work, yes. If you have 20% of talent, let's say, you have to do 80% of the work. If you have 80% of talent, you have to do not okay.
10% only.
No, of course, we can say in the case of Capablanca, true. Case of Stein, true. I can say example with Mikhail Tal. He never, he had some training camps, he worked sometimes, but not much less than, for example, grandmasters like Polugaevsky, who worked 8 hours per day, 40 hours per day, automatically every day. For example, Belavsky was working 8 to 10 hours even per day. So they were big workers, yeah? And the big workers which, on one side there are another, let's say, quote, very famous quote, that talent is the ability and motivation for work. Yes, you cannot work hard 8 hours without motivation every day. Yes, you need to have motivation, and not just motivation. Motivation can be love for the game. Love for the game, love for chess. So it is really Very important. Without this motivation, how you can work? You cannot force yourself, yeah? So there were, telling honestly, people for which this talent was talent to perform a lot of work. And they were great. All these guys, like Portish, but they didn't become world champions, it's true. Among hard workers who was world champion, there are two. Maybe Alekhine was hard worker, and hard worker was Fischer. They were really both hard workers. All others, which if we count all others, Blasker, Stanis were not hard workers, Capablanca at all. Okay, Eive was hard worker, Eive, because he worked, but he was working less. Why? Because he worked scientifically. He knew what to do and not to do work which is not necessary. Yes, Eive was really for this reason, one of the top world experts in the opening. He wrote many books on the subjects.
But what do you mean he is not hardworking? For example, if we spoke about talent, yeah, maybe somebody needs force, maybe somebody needs 6 hours, maybe somebody needs 8 hours, but every day.
Yes, as we talked about it, this formula, talent is, let's say.
So for different people.
Yes, it's true. For different people, what one can do in 8 hours, another can do in 3 hours. But you know, in chess, we don't have so much support, trainer support sometimes, and players are working alone themselves. And they are doing a lot of unnecessary work sometimes.
Yes, it's
this
true.
work is not necessary. It's possible to achieve result with different kind of work and much faster. Yes,
yes.
Spending much less time. It is true. It is not really well developed training systems. It's either true. It's another part of the moon, another face of the moon, let's say. But many players, I mean, talents, like I can say which talents I have seen, greatest talents during my career. Of course, Karpov and Kasparov, they are absolute outstanding. And either much more work was done by Kasparov than by Karpov. Yes, I think 3-1 or 4-1. 3-1. I mean, four times more he trained than Karpov. Maybe even 5. Yeah, maybe even 5. But I have seen like talents, like greatest talents like Rafael Vaganyan, who was incredible talent. But he trained not too much. He trained and he played just one opening, and it is some sign of if you play one opening, you cannot develop well. Yeah. Oh. If one plays Rook E1, she doesn't like to play this kind of structure which we talked about. And now I think Bishop E6 or Bishop G4 even is possible. Rook E1, she does want to play at the moment E3, yes? Because Knight F3 pawn is hanging, yeah? Bishop E6 are normal developing moves, and the Bishop G4, two normal developing moves. Okay, Knight F3 to take is not logical, yeah? For why? Because I can explain with simple words. Because Knight on D4 is better placed.
Yeah.
Is a Knight F3. It's not necessary to exchange better placed piece for worse. Why? It was explained by Nimzovich many years ago that when we have transfer of elements. When we have, for example, some outpost, we can say it outpost piece on the strong square in the center. And this outpost can be destroyed by opponent, first of all kicking knight, like E3, but this kicking now is not possible, pawn is hanging. Or exchange, yes? But this exchange, as we talked here, okay, let's say about here, yes? This about knight D4, I mean, want to explain this position, yes? Pawn D4. Now is transfer of elements. Instead of strong piece on E4, black obtains very strong rook on E8 and strong pressure, yes. Weak pawn on E2, yes. You see, it is transposition of elements, we can say, yes. It was one strong element.
So we change pawn structure, but it's more important to have weak attack at this pawn on E2 than to have outposts.
Strong piece can be exchanged for the weakness, yes. Okay, not very big weakness, but weakness, yes. So it is change of the elements, yes, which is very important, and sometimes players misunderstand it.
Which is more important?
Of course, which is more important, and to transfer them or not, to transpose in to some other elements. So now, okay, Marichka can play knight d4. So what if it's time? 10 minutes advantage for Marichka. It's clear that Hui Fan plays on unknown territory, and her pose is she's sitting. That it's clear that she's on unknown territory. She doesn't know precisely the plan. She's playing.
Yeah, bishop g4.
Yeah, it's Marichka's active style.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Active style. No, it's Marichka's style. It's good. I see. There are two options, but personally, I would prefer bishop e6 and then bishop d5. Personally, okay, but there are still those options. Maybe she didn't like knights, but knight c4 is nothing. Yes, knight c4 is nothing. You can play anything starting with f6. Yes.
But you see, she didn't play bishop e6 before knight d4.
Okay, white plan can be b4 and trying to play knight a5. Yes, b4 can be, but this still is not big deal. Yes, queen e7, simply rook d8. Rook d7, rook e8. Black has very comfortable positions. There are no doubts here. Yeah. Rook d1, bishop g4. Yeah. Marichka wants to force Hui Fan into her structure, which she knows. Yes, and Hui Fan didn't like to come into this structure. She was, let's say, hesitating. So today I think that. Okay, result, of course. Result says everything. At the end, result. You can do something wrongly on the start, but then you will, let's say, win the game, and you say everything was correct. Yes, it was everything programmed. I intentionally did it. Something like this, something. But it's clear that opening duel this time, Hui Fan lost. Hui Fan lost. She went into unknown position. You know. In such matches especially, but generally, very important is to, let's say, not to follow your preparation, but to come to positions which you know how to play and which you like, yes?
Yes.
And here it's clear that she doesn't like this position. There are no doubts for me. She doesn't like it. She would like to, she doesn't know what to do precisely. Because in somehow, if black will do few moves, consolidating position, creating pressure on e-file, yes, increasing, it will be not easy for white. Black would have advantage. It's clear for me. So white has to be very careful here in such position with the continuation. And okay, but for me it's clear that it was absolutely wrong handling of the opening. If you know maneuver queen a4, c4, c1 shows everything. It's absolutely wrong. Yeah? But it does mean that black is better. Absolutely. But black has comfortable play, known plan for Marichka, known plan. She knows it rather well. I see she is ready to play this position, yeah. And she went into this structure very fast, yeah. So her knowledge in this strategical, because we expected that Hui Fan has advantage in strategical understanding of the position, yeah.
Yes.
Nowadays, in this game, I don't say this.
But okay, it's a typical position in the middle of the game with this pawn structure, d4, d3, 2.
Once more, it's typical, but it's a question of taste. If I like this position, if I intend to play them, if I don't like. You say, oh, why am I playing this stupid line?
As for me, everybody should like it for black, no?
Generally,
because
yes.
You should defend your pawn on
very
e2.
Funny, you see, they both develop knight on a3 or a6, yes, both. So a bit not classical development, yeah, not very much classical.
So why should play in this position knight takes d4? Because it's dangerous.
Bishop,
knight takes
knight f3, bishop f3. There are both threats, yes. It would be black, or sometimes white has to go with knight somewhere, but here I don't think that white can go somewhere with the knight. No option, yes. White has to take, and I don't think that Hui Fan likes it. Interesting, yeah. Interesting option, interesting possibility. I think it's time to make some small break, yeah?
Okay.
Yes, this one, yeah?
Yeah. Give me.
Lviv, with ancient architecture and magnificent atmosphere. A European city with Ukrainian soul, where everyone drinks coffee, savors chocolate, and plays chess.
Chess capital of Ukraine, the city of Lviv, hosts the FIDE Women's World Chess Championship match this spring from 1st till 18th of March. Maria Muzichuk from Ukraine and Hu Ifan from China will come together in a duel for the title of Women's World Chess Champion.
18 days, 10 games, impressive chess battles, and uncompromising fight.
Witness the birth of the next chess queen in the city of Lviv.
What would be cool to have in your company? Let's ask our ladies.
Have my lunch in the park. Have a relaxing massage.
Band and a choir.
Looking for your IT partner? Symphony Solutions. Cool to work for, cool to work with.
Мріяти – загальновідома формула успіху. Мріяти і діяти – формула, якою керуються перші. Прагни першості.
I've always wanted to introduce them. Classic style, elegance, sense of rhythm, slow tempo, tart flavor. They've so much in common. Scent of rain and flavor of sweets. They know how to surprise day and night. Being with them makes me feel cozy. Which one of them do I love more?
Lviv is worth meeting.
Не боятися падінь. Загальновідома формула успіху. Мати силу встояти. Формула, якою керуються перші. Прагни першості.
What would be cool to have in your company? Let's ask our ladies.
Chat with my colleague at the fireplace. Morning yoga classes.
To have my coffee served.
Looking for your IT partner? Symphony Solutions. Cool to work for, cool to work with.
So we are back with our transmission as Hui Fan planned. She played bishop h6. It was her idea from the start to exchange this bishop. You know, it's very difficult to explain really why it has to be exchanged, this bishop, which is not very strong on g7. But this bishop keeps control over this d4 knight and protects e5 pawn. So it was played bishop with the idea bishop g7, knight e5. Black played rook e8.
And also protects the king, that's why maybe to make more weak king.
Yeah. So bishop takes, king takes, and Hui Fan played queen d2, yes? Improving defense of their e2 square, and she does not like to take on c4. Of course, black can take on c3, on f3, yes? Black can take on f3, but if bishop takes, pawn takes, let's say, and something like white next move is idea f4, but still this pawn d3 will be weak forever, yes? d3 will be weak. But black task, main task for black is to transfer this knight from a6, yes? To transfer it somewhere to c7 and to e6, maybe to d5. So Marichka has different choices here, yeah? It's possible to play simply queen d7, or white wants to play next move knight c4, yes? And knight c4 can be answered with simple f6, yes? So black can play queen d7, let's say, yes? Queen d7, knight c4, e6, and then to transfer knight via c7 to e6, or somewhere there. Black position and play first of all rook d8, yes? Rook d8 will be the option, yeah? So black has many normal moves, we can say, developing moves. Black has no problems. Black can develop anyhow. Okay, overall impression is that black is very comfortable play, yeah?
Yes.
So, and white did not achieve, and we didn't achieve too much from the starting position, yeah? Okay, possible is maybe even to play queen e7, queen b4, some moment, yes? There are many options, but the most normal looks to be queen d7. Either is possible to take. But if knight takes, maybe it's not the best way, yeah? Then trying to take on d3, yeah? Maybe white can have something like f4, yeah? And if bishop d3 or queen d3, yes? Let's say queen d3, queen d3, bishop takes, pawn takes e5, yes. And now white bishop is still strong. Of course, black have still comfortable play because this knight is out of the game, yeah. Still, this is either very much playable. If, for example, rook d1, then simply rook a d8, yeah. Very comfortable, many ways, but it's critical moment. Of course, many different choices for Maria, many different choices, really. And we call it critical moments in chess, yeah? And in such moments, players usually spend some time choosing their way, yeah? So I think it's time to take another guest on the match, who is here who came from faraway countries. Just 1 second, I will be back with him.
So in the game happened bishop takes f3, didn't play. Queen takes d2. A jak w partii było?
Yes.
Hello.
Manfred.
Witam.
So please take the seat. We will put it maybe here, yeah. So we had many guests here from far countries, from Australia, from Iceland. Now we have new guests. Yes, introduce yourself, please.
From Germany.
From Germany, from Hamburg.
I'm Manfred from Hamburg. Yeah, I live in a very small village, but pretty close to Hamburg. And I used to work in Hamburg, and so I'm naturally from northern Germany.
From northern Germany. So first few impressions about Lviv, about the city.
Oh, I love it. It was a long expected visit actually, because Alexander's a friend of mine and I learned much about chess, of course, and he is very successful in Germany. And he often talked about Lemberg, where he was born, as far as I know. And so I said, okay, whenever it will suit, we will follow you.
Yes.
And this is a wonderful occasion to come to Lemberg. And to be honest, I often visited Vienna, and so it was, in a way, I knew a little bit about history, and so about this architecture and something like that. And I'm absolutely sure I will come back again.
Yeah, it's very really. It's it was the main city of the province, Galician, in former times. And my father was born here as a citizen of Austria.
Yeah.
And but he changed. He was on one place. He changed 7 countries. In one place.
Cosmopolitan.
Yes, cosmopolitan. He was forced to be there. But Lviv is much smaller than Vienna. Vienna is 5 floors, 6 floors. Lviv is 3 floors. Yes, 4 floors.
All right.
But still, everybody in province tried to copy Vienna. Yes, capital.
I don't think so. I mean, there's a connection of history, and so of course of the architecture and the influence. But Vienna is a little bit different in this way, because it's too big.
Yeah.
And this is a little bit smaller, and I like that, I must say. Yeah. And so strolling around the buildings or through the streets, and now we have a wonderful guide, Alexander helped us. Yes.
And what are your impressions about the match and about the players? Yes.
Yes, you should know that I'm just an amateur, not a professional player, on a not very high level, but. I was always excited with chess, I must say. When I grew up, it caught me from the very first moment. And I think for the match, I read about both players, and as far as I know, the Chinese player plays most of the time in men's tournament, and very successfully.
Yeah.
And Maria is the champion at the moment.
Yes.
She won in Sochi last year, I think.
Yes.
And I had the pleasure to have a few seconds with her, because Alexander drew me and, come on, let's make a photo. No, I don't like. Come on, let's make a photo. And so he forced me to do that. And then I spoke a few words to Maria, and my impression is a young, shy, a little bit shy woman, but a wonderful player, and obviously a wonderful human, and she has a good family around her, as far as I know.
Yes. Both parents were trainers.
Alexander told me that, yes. And there's a sister as well.
Older sister, which was much more successful in the former times, but nowadays Maria is ahead. Yeah.
Right. In the 70s or 80s, I read about the Polga sisters and the situation about that. And when Bobby was in the scene, I was much more excited for chess. Later, I lowered it down a little bit. Yeah. And at the moment, it's a matter of interest, yes, of course, because I'm older now, and I think, it's time to learn a little bit.
Yes, and time to enjoy, because chess is not just playing games; it's enjoying how many interesting people are around, how they enjoy chess, how they like it, and and this atmosphere of the match is absolutely different to the tournaments.
Absolutely, yeah, that's true. But as far as my impression is, absolutely well organized, wonderful ideas around the match, and you can see it in the city. The trams have flags on the top, and something like that. And so I think all visitors should feel very well here. So I do.
Yes. We are very happy that many people are coming from different countries and they enjoy city, enjoy chess, because Lviv is the chess capital of Ukraine. We have at the moment 24 grandmasters who are living there, and we had some additional, let's say, activities like trainer seminars, like some small tournaments, kids Ukrainian championship under 20, and so on and so on. So we want to make profit from this championship, made in the sense that more, let's say, young people will be involved in chess, and they will enjoy chess, and they will play more.
I'm convinced you will be very successful.
You know, I was in Hamburg. I am every year.
You work for ChessBase, and
yes, I work for ChessBase. I'm every year once in Hamburg, and I either was in Hamburg Chess Club. I enjoyed Hamburg Chess Club because it is very cozy, very nice, not very big, but very sympathetic chess club, and a lot of young promising players there. But for me, the most interesting was that location of Hamburg Chess Club. It's located in the philosophical streets, Fichte, Leibniz,
Schelling,
all philosophical.
But I think that is a coincidence in a way. That's true.
But you know, the coincidence is not that some part of Hamburg is just philosophical part.
You can say that. Yes, why not? It's okay.
But for you, as a chess lover, I want to say you that you can have a travel to the city of Utrecht. Yes, and in Utrecht, on southern part of Utrecht, is chess court. There are streets of Staunton, of Ewe Square.
Of the chess players?
Yes, Ewe, and there is Rokadenstraat, Rookstraat, Poonstraat, and there are around 10 streets which are named after chess players and some chess pieces.
Brilliant idea.
Yes, it's great. I may have had some photos because I was accidentally in the hotel there when I worked with the Dutch team. And it was great to see these all chess streets and all these chess activities.
Right.
But what with Hamburg? You are playing a bit chess in some clubs, or just enjoying?
Just a little bit playing. Just enjoying. And you may have heard of a German magazine called Die Zeit.
Die Zeit,
and they just organized a very special event and invited Magnus Carlsen.
Yes, big simultan of Magnus Carlsen.
Simultaneously played against 70 players because of the 70th birthday, and he was very successful. He won 68, 1 loss and 2 draws. Absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, Magnus is a big star now, and it's very important that chess is using the name of such big star to see some new ways how to develop and take more young kids into chess. But did you play in the simultan or not?
No, I haven't heard behind, also after that. And so it was actually too late. But I think I wouldn't have had a chance because there were
so many people wanted to play.
Many, and they invited people, e.g. Magath and Steinbrück. The Ukrainian people may not know them, but
no, Magath is known for chess players.
Okay,
and for
players and trainers, exactly. And Steinbrück was is a
politician. Yes. He's from North Rhine-Westphalia.
Exactly.
He's known.
Exactly.
And with Magath was very funny story. You know, it was his friend of Vladimir Kramnik, world champion, and Magath had, I think it was 10 years ago, when they had some famous emission on German TV, when guests want to hit some goals. Yes, not some goals, some holes in the. Yes, and Magath and Kramnik were in the
in a TV recording.
Yes, in TV recording. And Kramnik won, and everybody was teasing Magath how you could lose to chess player.
Fantastic.
How would you lose to chess player? It was impossible.
A similar story. You know Eusebio from the 60s.
Yes.
A very famous player from Portugal.
Great player.
And he was invited into the same recording, and he tried to be successful. 3 down, 3 up.
Yes.
Nothing. And they told, after the TV recording, he played for more than half an hour in order to
be successful. He trained him. But I think he was very old at the time. He was over 60 probably. Yeah?
Maybe
he was very old, because I think he recently died recently.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes. And he was 70 something around, but he was absolutely. Okay, absolutely great star of the football, one of the
66 in England.
66, yes,
Yeah.
he was incredible.
Exactly.
Yes, fantastic player.
Yeah.
I remember it was my first World Championship, which I saw
Do
on
you?
TV. Yeah, I saw all the matches. Yes, you know. And
so I mean, I can reveal I actually wanted to become a famous football star, but I obviously failed. And so I tried in chess, but I failed as well. And so it's a normal life. I'm average in a positive way.
Look, but the most important thing is to enjoy.
Exactly.
Enjoy chess.
Yeah.
What let's return to the position. It was taken on d4. Yes. Bishop g4 taken. Bishop h6. Bishop g7. King g7. Queen d2. And Marichka played Queen d7, which we discussed, which is logical. Yes, and from your point of view, how you like, which position you like more, white or black?
Black. Of course.
Why?
More space.
More space, yes.
Initiative.
Yes.
Yeah. And she had a good pressure on pawn e2.
On pawn e2, yeah, correct.
And I hope she can develop
the initiative, yes, to improve the position.
The advantage, yes.
In such cases, sometimes it is some attack, h5, h4 maybe, but would be very nice to exchange this white square bishop, yes? But if she plays bishop h3, then white plays bishop h1, you know, avoiding exchanges. Then, as I told before, from d5 was correct to exchange these bishops, yes? It would be much more, let's say, dangerous for white.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
If it would be unstoppable exchange, then...
And I think she has also to activate
knight, yes.
The other...
But both, you see, both has
rook
knights...
and knight,
Knight, because both has knights on a file, yes?
Right.
So they had to come to action.
Yeah.
But maybe white wants to play knight to c2 to attack this pawn d4,
exactly.
yes? More attacking, more pressure.
Yeah.
But, or b4, b5, but not very big room for some improvement of the position. Black is comfortable,
Yeah.
So
I do think so.
It is very interesting and very nice development for the future.
Yeah.
At the moment, what with time, Janice used 50 minutes and Marichka used 48 has left. Yes, same, because she was thinking for some 10-15 minutes about the setup, how to place pieces. Okay, now she can play, for example, rook e7, rook e8 to increase pressure on e2.
I think she should avoid a pressure in time, because that was some of the reasons when she lost the second
game. Yes, but second game she had some problems to solve. And it was not so easy, and because Hui Fan pressed her, and always she had to find some correct ways, and it was not easy.
Yeah.
Okay, she managed it, but time is always important factor, like in life. If you try to do something fast, you can fail.
Yeah. Often enough, a game like chess is a mirror of life.
Yes. Okay. Yes, mirror or some. They say sometimes let's say some model of. Primitive model of life, or some actions in life. Yes, some. You see here, like for example, attacking weaknesses, creating weaknesses, getting rid out of weaknesses, and so on. Yeah.
So sometimes we can active our inside, how I say, activities.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have to try to kill or something like that, and so the old archive things of our can come out.
Yeah.
But just in a game, not in reality.
No, not in reality. Yeah. You see, Marichka went now after long, some thinking, they have to relax sometimes because pressure is too high and it's necessary to relax a bit.
Yeah.
Because at the end, the most important is fourth hour, yes?
Yeah.
And this time it can be everything, everything happens. So now Hui Fan improved knight, yes, knight c4 is natural move. Probably rook e7 is a move, or bishop h3 is possible either, but no, then knight d6, rook e7. Then queen f4. No, queen f4 is rook e2, yeah? No, I think it will be rook e7, yes? Okay, knight e7 is either playable, and knight e6, knight d5, knight. So it's necessary to improve position of the pieces, yes? Right. Positions. Especially there is one piece white improved. The knight, this passive knight, now is black turns, yes?
Yeah.
Black must think about improvement of the knight, yeah?
Exactly.
So, but it's necessary to think because Hui Fan is very tactical player. If black plays here, maybe some queen b4 move is possible, yes? And if knight d5, then even queen c5, you see, and this pawn is under attack, yeah?
Under pressure, yeah.
Under pressure, yes. It's necessary to be very, very precise, yes? Because knight has to find the right direction, yeah? And it's not so, because if she plays here knight c7, queen b4, not knight d5, knight e6, then still some move like knight, okay, h3 can be dangerous,
Could
yes?
have covered him, yeah.
Yeah, something could be dangerous, yes?
Yeah.
Yes, could be dangerous. So it's necessary to be very careful not to close. It's now is an important moment for black to find the right setup.
Yeah, right.
It's not so easy. Okay, rook d8 is possible. Yes, it's classical move, or rook e7. Yeah.
Rook e7, rook e8,
Yeah, but then king f1 will be played, and then maybe bishop h3 something. Yes, to exchange
and
bishops.
then take the other rook, of course.
Yeah.
In order to make
to
the
attack
pressure
it too, yes.
and
What will take king
bring
f1
it out of
and then in
the
exchange
diagonal
of
of the
yes.
bishop. Yeah.
Bishops has to be exchanged sooner or later because bishop first protects white king, and second, always some threats can be on the diagonal. Knight a5, rook c1, knight c6. You know, something with this bishop can be created. It is always some option. Yes, it's not for sure, not for sure.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, so let's see.
Let's see. Okay, thank you very much for your visit.
Just to say,
it was our pleasure to have you here.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. So it was our guest from Hamburg. We enjoyed our conversation, and always very nice to have different chess amateurs, chess fans which came from far countries and are enjoying not just are enjoying chess, they are enjoying environment, cities, they're enjoying because World Championship match, Women World Championship match has to be some nice event, and it has, of course, it's necessary to promote women chess, it's necessary to promote chess at all, and such persons are extremely important and extremely nice for chess, because chess players aren't playing just for themselves, they are playing for public, yes, for public, for people which are following their matches, which are interested in chess, so it's great to have people which like it, yeah? It's really great. So interesting situation, Hui Fan, what she wrote, she's writing down some time or what? Some time where she spent.
Did this many times.
Yeah, did she many times. Maybe she writes down, I don't know what is, there are always some stories about score sheets recently, the famous story of Wesley Saw, who was writing, Wesley was very funny, he was writing some inspirational things on this his score sheet, play faster, play better, play more concentrated. Okay, it is nothing wrong with it, but it was forbidden in some round of United States Championship, it was like this. What, f6 she played?
Yes.
But why it's necessary to play f6? What was such big threat? I don't see what was the big threat to be forced to play f6. Maybe she wants to play bishop e6 then, yeah? It is possible, yeah. Okay, there are a few ways how to develop play here. One way, as we told, was rook e7. Then it was always to play f6. But Marichka doesn't know how to, probably yet she didn't decide how to place her rooks. Yeah.
To develop on d8.
On d8, maybe, yes, on double the rooks on e. But doubling would be more natural, yes, because it is weakness. And if it is weakness in the position, it's necessary to continue hitting this weakness, yes. So interesting situation. Of course, situation is always interesting that white is here. Of course, white has to create his own play, yes. What are the options? Something with weakness of d6 or weakness of b7, knight a5 or queen f4, queen d6, yes? Queen f4, yes, there are two options, yes? No, Queen F4 is Rook E2, of course, but I would prefer something different, yeah? Queen F4 is not possible. Knight A5 can be a move, yeah? And then to try to play, let's say, Rook A C1, yes? Rook A C1. And then some attack on C5, yes? So knight could take on C6, yes? And then bishop takes on C6, yes? If pawn takes, bishop takes on C6, yes? C6 could be under attack. Yes, it's white has to try to use here some tactical chances, yes? But okay, black could play now rook E7, rook E8, or knight, or first rook B8, knight C7, knight D5. Few options are here, of course, possible. F6 is okay. Move is part of the strategy, part of the setup, yes, but not, maybe not the first one, yeah, because for setup you need some more. For setup you could do it later, yeah. Rook E7 was quite possible, yeah, as we discussed. But you see, probably she didn't like this variation. I mean, knight E4, rook C7, let's say, queen F4, yes. Now threatening knight E5, yeah.
And if rook E8,
yes, rook E8, and now knight D6, and if rook D8, some queen D4 check, you know, and then bishop will be hanging, yeah. So she wants to avoid checks, yes. She wanted to avoid check, and she played F6. Yeah, okay. And now we understand what's all about this business. So when we were talking about talents, and we have to say that both players are extreme talents. Okay, for talents, it is clear that it comes visible very early. I mean, Hui Fan was a real prodigy, and she started to play on the high level, I think at the age of 14, yes, or 14 or 15. I think she's 8 years among the top, among 8 years. She now is 22, so I think she's on the top 8 years. And in such early age, of course, it is clear that it was necessary to make some hard job, hard preparation, and additionally to have some really big talent, yeah, which is not easy to show so early your abilities in everything, in chess or in some other sports, in music. When you show it in early age, so it means that you are really talented. So one of the characteristic of the talent is to be shown early, yes? You cannot show your talent when you are 60.
Yeah. But sometimes people, when they are
when they go to pension, they started to develop their own dreams. Yes, own dreams. They start to develop. Okay, sometimes it happens. There are no doubts, but still to reach some big level, great level, it is not possible even in this age, because young talent captures it much faster, yes, much faster and much easier. Marichka Izer was talented, clearly, that she had fantastic results for last 5 years. She was Ukrainian champion twice, I think. Twice Ukrainian champion, which Ukrainian champion is very strong, quite strong, because Ukrainian women team was Olympic champions, and they are world champions. Marichka was one of the members of the team, but all of the time she was in the shadow of her sister, yes, because Anna had much better results. Yes, better results. She was older. Anna won more tournaments, and it was considered to be really candidate for playing some world championship match. It was clear that Anna would have to be, let's say, some challenger for world championships. There are no doubts that she had so fantastic results in different women competition, especially in FIDE Grand Prix. She was winning some tournaments in Grand Prix, and really, in one moment she was second in the world after Hui Fan. Yes, it was I think 4 years ago. Yeah, but then probably some, let's say, something happened with her that she did not improve so much. She's a bit stuck at the moment with her improvements. Of course, she is absolute well top. She's among top 10 still, and she has still great results. Now she won fantastic tournament, women tournament in Gibraltar, which was very strong with world champion like Antonetta Stefanova played there, some other top players. Of course, it was great result. There are no doubts. But I must tell you honestly, we expect from Anna much more. We expect that she will fight for world championships. There are no doubts. We hope here in Lviv that she will fight. That these problems which she has recently will be overcome, and she will return to the top 5, and maybe that Marichka became world champion will be additional motivation for her. She will play.
She has time, and why not?
Yes, and example of the younger sister. So if younger sister is doing so well, why she can't do it? Yes, younger sister, small girl is doing better. So what? I was stronger always. Let's return. Yeah. So it's very nice to have let's say competition. Yes, everywhere. And as I understand, before they didn't have real competition, because difference of 2 years in junior competitions is very big. They play different categories and they were not competing each other. Yeah, they were not competing. But in Anna then, because of some problems with the Ukrainian federations, Anna moved to Slovenia, and she played successfully for national team. National team of Slovenia with Anna was in top 10 in many competitions, and because of Anna, not because of other players. She really played fantastically for the team. She was always leading team to much better results. And Maria played for Ukraine, became Ukrainian champion twice. And of course, it is some impressions that now they will finally start to compete, which will be good. Now, maybe Anna needs some additional psychological, let's say, not support, but I mean some psychological elements to be, let's say, involved, that it's necessary to try to beat Maria, to be better than Maria. In many cases it's useful, especially when it is some crisis, yes? And of course, Anna is some crisis now. It's clear that she lost her place, third place in world women ranking list. It was third place after when Judith Polgar was on the list, who never played women competitions. Technically, she was second after Hui Fan. And now she has to try to return back, and I think really that this result of Anna will help her very much. Will help her because it will give her new emotions, new options, how to fight, and to challenge Maria even as well champion. It would be great. Still, everybody believes that Anna is not weaker than Maria as a chess player. But Maria achieved this goal first, so Anna can achieve the same. It is necessary to try to change some ways of training, some forms, try to change maybe sometimes attitude, even to change openings. Yes, maybe even to change haircut, as we used to say for girls. It is important. Yes, of course, but it's a bit joke, yeah. But mostly she has to change something, her attitude toward chess training, and I have no doubt that she can challenge Maria because her talent is fantastic. She has some strong sides of her chess, like technique. She's much more technical than Maria, and her technique is sometimes fantastic. She showed many games with fantastic technique, winning against top players. So it will be not a big problem for her to show it. She plays sometimes a bit too technically, tries to play, but it is normal for her to try to use her strongest sides. Yeah. But still, once more I want to say that she have all possibilities to return to her place, and not just to return to her second place in the world ranking list, but to become world champion. Clearly, that Hui Fan is something absolutely great. You know, sometimes such big champions are, let's say, a problem for other great players who would become world champions. For example, Botvinnik stopped Keres and Bronstein to become world champions, and maybe Geller, because they were absolutely great players in 50s, but because of Botvinnik it was not possible. Botvinnik was too strong and too big personality. The same was with Korchnoi. If it would be no Karpov, Korchnoi would be world champion. There are no doubts. He had all abilities for it. But Karpov was, you know, stopped him. And it's life. What can you do? It was bad luck that such person was on his way. Yeah. So, and in women chess, after it was world champion from Maria Chiburnidze was world champion for 11 years. Then it was Xijun from China, great player, who was in 90s world champion. 1 year was Zsuzsa Polgar, world champion, but she was stopping chess, active chess in that time. And then 2000s there were no really great, woman chess player who was much stronger than others. There were great world champions like Antonetta Stefanova, like Chinese, I don't remember exactly her name. It was Chinese good player, very, very top player, but they were not such difference among them. Xu Yuhua, yes, Xu Yuhua. It was always very difficult for me to pronounce Chinese names, not for me, because I was training Chinese player for a long time, European vice champion Zhao Qingpeng, and she always was laughing how I pronounce her name. She was from the south, and she explained me that on the south, in Cantonese, her name is pronounced absolutely differently. And I trained, and now I don't want to show what I trained. I tried and tried to pronounce correctly her name in Mandarin and in, let's say, Cantonese. But it's very, very nice way, like even like singing. They pronounce it beautifully, absolutely beautifully. But it's a big difference. For us, it's very difficult. So returning to Hui Fan, yeah. Hui Fan really is some kind of towering over all others, yes? She is absolutely great player, and she is in some way, but she's not stopping others, you know? Because women world championship system is different than men's. Women has this knockout system, but she won just one knockout, you know? In knockouts are always some, let's say, unexpected events in knockout systems. It's always a bit lottery, yes? And she won just one. She played, I think, 3 times. Or maybe 4, I don't remember exactly, 3 for sure, and she won just one, yes? So it means, and she didn't like it, and she stopped playing this knockout world champions, and she concentrated on Grand Prix, because in the women's system, winner of the knockout system plays not against former world champion, which would be one side logical. Winner of the FIDE Grand Prix plays against winner of knockout, yes? Yeah. So Hui Fan had her place in the match after winning 1 year ago this Grand Prix series. So she was sure that she has this place, and she decided not to challenge herself in knockouts this championship. It was okay, it was her choice. Very difficult to say was it right or was it wrong. It was simply her choice, and it gives some options for others to become world champions. So for this reason became world champion. But Hui Fan, I think, played in the championship when Anna Ushanina became world champion. I think she lost in the second or third round in Khanty-Mansiysk 4 years ago. And last year in Sochi, she decided not to play at all. And it was not coincidence that Maria got her place because Maria did not qualify for World Championship from European Championship, and she got her place, yes. And now, and then she won this championship, yeah. So it was great, really, to remember such coincidence, yes. So now let's return to the game.
White played h4
h4,
in this
yes.
position.
h4. So white idea is not so much h5. Okay, bishop h3 is still possible, or rook e7 is possible. White wants to play what? King h2 or what? h5 is not big threat, yes? Maybe rook e7 still, yeah? Maybe rook e7 is possible, yes? Rook e7 is possible.
Same idea as before?
Yeah. Yes, rook e7, rook e8, yeah?
Maybe was the idea to stop with g5 after queen f4 in some positions?
Yes, maybe to stop g5, yes. Maybe it was more prophylactical idea. But rook e7, rook e8 is... but then it's necessary to solve this problem of this knight on
let's
a6.
If queen f4 again, rook e8...
No, even rook e2 is necessary to calculate now, yeah. Yes. Rook e, no, not this, yes, rook e2, yeah. Rook e2, yes, rook e2, and bishop e2, yeah. Nothing, rook e1, nothing. So it is not clear. Yeah, I will try to get our new guests just in 2 minutes.
So rook e7 is interesting again. With the idea to double the rooks on e5 and attack the pawn on e2, this weak pawn. And what white can play here? Maybe knight a5 again, like in this position, previous position. Knight a5, but rook e8. And this pawn on e2 is really weak. I don't like this position. Yes, Maria played this move, rook e7. It's a natural move, of course, in this position for black. So it's a question how to defend the pawn on e2 for white. King f1 is not possible because still bishop e2 will be dangerous. If bishop f1, it's a little passive for white. So maybe white should push e3 in this position. But after d takes e3, pawn on d3 will be weak. For example, rook takes c3. We have choice. We can double the rooks on e5 or to play rook takes c3. If rook takes c3, for example, knight takes c3, we can go back, bishop b6, and this pawn on d3 is really weak, so it's not good. But it's interesting to play knight e3 in this position. And if bishop e6, maybe h5, something like this. That was the idea of move h4. To sacrifice this pawn, so of course it's not good for black take the pawn on h5 because king will be weak and double pawns on h5 and bad pawn structure on the king side. So white will use it, of course, white will have some compensation. Huifeng played e4, so not e3, e4. Yeah, maybe better move, of course, than e3. We are waiting for our guest. Hello? Come here. Here, Andrian will not come. Wait. To this piece. So we have Margaret Patterson again. Hello.
Nice to be here.
How are you?
Good. Congratulations on International Women's Day.
Yeah, you want to say something for women?
Yeah. Hope all women have a great day today. It's very important here in Ukraine, I know that.
Okay, thank you very much. So what do you think about position? Huifeng played e4. I calculated e3, but maybe e4 is better, of course.
Yeah.
How you understand this position?
Well, I think it's basically equal. I think Maria was very successful with her opening, but then she started to play some moves which I really wasn't too impressed with. I think she should have played rook e8 earlier and maybe
instead
keep
f6.
Yeah, and f6. Yeah, it's okay. It's not a mistake or anything, but it's a weakness. Now white should just absolutely try to keep queens and exploit the weaknesses. After e4, of course, black took. There was no question about it.
E3.
And
knight takes e3. Actually, she has choice. Rook takes c3 or knight takes c3, but Maria played very quickly knight takes c3. What do you think of this?
She played very quickly d takes e3.
Huifeng played
knight takes.
c3.
Yes, she played it very quickly. Yeah, yes, she wants to keep pieces, and she's hoping to exploit the slight weakness. But e4 was a very big decision to make. So
but actually, she had no choice. She should do something with this pawn because it's dangerous. Rook e8 and bishop f1 is too passive.
It's too passive, yes.
King f1 still dangerous. Bishop takes e2, and it's difficult to protect this pawn on e2.
Yeah. I guess you're right. It's the alternative would have been something like maybe bishop f3. It would
bishop f3 in this position.
No, it's.
But if bishop takes f3,
but then you would try to do something on the king side. Yeah, and now rook e4 would be played.
Rook e4.
It was another way to handle the position.
Knight c5, for example.
Knight c5. Yeah, you're totally outplaying me here. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I agree. It's So maybe e4 was necessary.
Yes.
But then, but now we have an interesting situation because the white pawn on d3 is very weak.
Yeah, but I thought maybe she played h4. We find with the idea to push h5 in this
Yeah,
position.
yeah, I guess so. Yes.
So h5 is interesting. G takes h5 is blunder, of course. Too weak for the king
Yeah,
side.
way too weak. Yeah.
So we should wait.
Yeah, black didn't solve the problems of the knight on a6. Not yet.
But maybe we can start to attack the pawn on d3, for example, rook d8.
Yeah.
Because if h takes g6, h takes g6, right? But we should calculate some
maybe h6 might be played, or she has a pleasant choice of taking or playing.
So h6 is interesting here.
Yeah. So then black has to. Where's black going with the king?
Maybe f7.
F7. Yeah, but this is.
A little weak for black, but how white can use it?
Yeah. So here also, if rook a1 protecting the pawn, then it's then a2 is hanging. Then a2 should just be simply be taken.
Takes a2, yeah.
Yeah.
You can take it. Yeah.
So yeah, this is I don't see compensation, but so here it looks like a move rook e d1 is needed. Rook e d1. But this is black has some advantage here. Even queen d4 might come into consideration. Before not to, because white's plan would here probably to play d4.
So maybe we can play c5 or queen d4. Yeah. But if queen d4, knight c2, something like this, there's the idea to push d4.
Yeah, but yeah, absolutely.
So maybe c5 for black.
If you absolutely want to stop
this d4 move.
the d4 move, but.
No need, because it's a weak pawn. Will be on d3 and d4 doesn't matter.
Maybe then black could also consider knight c7, solving the problem of the.
And can we try to exchange the pieces knight d5 because endgame will be better for black?
and go for the play for the isolated pawn. Yeah, no. This would this could be slightly. It's not much going on, but maybe probably black's position is preferable here. But I guess h6 check. It's premature for white. White should probably keep his options open.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what white should play instead? h6 in this position.
After rook d8. So.
Still rook e d1.
I think it looks to me rook e d1 is maybe we should we should maybe just look at the position quickly after rook a d1 bishop takes a2. Are there any tricks here which we might exploit?
But we cannot push b3. Maybe knight c4, but no, knight c4 doesn't work because rook takes c1, queen takes c1, and bishop c4. Rook on d1 is weak. She pushed d4, you see?
Yeah, it's
She didn't push h5. But that's for me h5 a very interesting move. It doesn't work, but if rook e d1, yeah. Maybe knight c7 again, same position as before.
Yeah, it would be similar, yes. Not really very much going on. So the question is how how could white create something on the queen side, on the king side? Is you would think is bishop f3, trying to get a rook to the. Of course, whites want to bring a rook to the h file. Yeah, maybe bishop f3. It's a reasonable waiting move, it seems.
Then king g2 maybe, yeah?
Yeah, then king g2, but it's, of course, black can
play bishop h3.
h3 check and go back, or it's doesn't seem to be too much going on.
Yeah.
But here black would have knight b5. We can't. Knight b5 is that's
on d4.
Yeah. This is that would be. This is. If the black knight gets to d4, then white is cramped. It's horribly cramped.
Okay, let's come back.
Let's go back. Yeah,
because it's very interesting. She pushed d4 right now.
Oh, so you played d4 immediately?
Yeah.
Okay.
So she didn't play h5.
Yeah. So now she probably just wants to play. She wants to open up the game.
Yeah, d5 is a typical idea in the middle game. Yeah.
Yeah, she might just want to play d5 and
to exchange
open up, change off her weakness, and in an open position with queens and rooks, then black is worse because of the weakness of the king, the slight weakness.
So black should start this knight c7.
Yeah, I guess knight. If rook d8, then probably rook et1 will be played.
Knight c7.
Or just no. Black would in this case black would just take on.
Yeah, rook ed1 again.
But let's take one look here just quickly.
After rook ad1, bishop a2.
No, I'm thinking. Well, d5 cannot be played here. Probably not.
I think no. d5, e takes d5.
Yeah,
there's some trick here. Knight takes d5.
There's a trick there.
Bishop takes d5, rook takes c7, queen
takes
but
c7. But knight c7. Yeah, this can't be played. Okay, so we eliminated that.
Okay.
So rook et1 looks necessary.
Okay.
And now black can do the same as we were looking at. Knight c7, getting the knight into play. Next move, just knight. This position looks fairly equal to me.
Do you want to play this position for white or for black?
That's a good question.
Do you like to play with isolated pawn or?
Yeah. I'm not afraid of isolated pawns. It's.
So what is the main idea if you have a isolated pawn?
Well, you want to play around it, or exchange it off, maybe and here I think white would be very happy to exchange the pawn off, to open up the position and try to create threats against the black king. So here, white, I guess white should play queen b4 in this position.
Queen b4?
In the position we have here, yeah.
So if knight d5, knight takes, bishop takes, and bishop takes this the pawn, which is not good for black.
Yeah, then white might be then white might be slightly better.
So,
but still, nothing. Maybe
If knight b5, now you can push the move d5.
Yeah. That I don't like. Absolutely not. So and the pawn on b7 is under threat. So, but again, not much going on. And if you just play knight d5, this would be if Black is trying to just go for a draw, she could play 95 absolutely, and it's not much to not terribly dangerous. But
if, for example, we will go back, knight a6.
Yeah, it's even possible to go back.
So queen d2 or no?
No, I don't think so. I think the queen is not ideally placed on d2. I think white should go maybe even queen a3, because what are you going to do now? Now you can't go back to c7, pawn on.
And still you want to
and
push
now
d5.
I want to push d5. Yeah.
Yeah. It's not so easy. It's necessary now to be very precise. Yeah.
You mean with Black?
Yes.
Yes, I agree. I'm not.
This dynamic with isolated pawn is always dynamic, which cannot be underestimated. Yeah.
Absolutely. Now I think Black. I liked the Black position before, but now I think Black should be just satisfied with a draw.
Yeah.
But
how to play it, because d5 is quite.
Yeah, so we were looking at knights in this position, rook d8.
Yes, queen b4.
No, rook d8. You have to play. I don't see another move than rook e d1.
Rook e d1.
Yeah, and then queen c7.
Yes, queen c7.
And c7.
Queen
and queen b6. Yes, and maybe rook d7, rook e d7, to increase pressure on d4.
I think we're not talking about the same position.
No, rook a d8.
Yeah.
Rook e d1 and queen c7.
We were thinking about knight c7.
Yes.
Yeah, but
because we want to say this knight is totally out of play.
Yeah.
And Black needs to solve the question of this knight.
Yeah. Of course, this is an urgent question.
Yeah.
Because it would be possible to somehow but queen d6, queen b4 is very late. Yeah. Not.
You mean for Black?
Yes. Rook d8 and then queen d6, queen d4, queen b4. But it's a3 simply.
But you have to be careful about d5.
Yeah.
It's.
But rook d8, I don't think that Hu Yifan will play rook e d1. Why not rook a d1?
Because there's a pawn on a2.
Yeah.
And I don't think.
But you know what would be great if Black could play queen f7.
Queen
f7. Queen f7. If rook would be on e8, it would be great move queen f7. Then rook d8 and Black would be very comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah, I see. Yeah.
Rook is not very well placed on e7 now.
Yes.
It was well placed when it was on. It was attack on e2. Now it's not very well placed. Yeah.
Yeah. Well. It's already defending the 7th rank in case of
for this reason I want to give some job to it. I mean rook d8, rook e d1, queen c7, and then trying to play rook e d7. Yes, and to increase pressure, then queen b6, and to increase pressure.
Yeah, but your knight on a6 is still horribly out of play.
Yeah, right.
And white will probably solve the problems just by pushing d5.
Yeah.
And opening up and the knight is totally offside.
But look, if we play, for example, let's show on the board.
Yeah.
Rook d1, knight c7. Knight c7, yes. What you propose? Queen b4.
Queen b4, yes.
And then knight d5.
Knight d5 is
yes.
This is our main line, yes. Just exchanging everything.
Yes. Knight takes, bishop takes.
Yeah, and bishop takes.
Bishop takes, and pawn takes. Yes.
Yeah.
And here it has to be equal, because now then rook d8.
Yeah. Rook. It's Black already controls the e file.
So
but
white will control
still white has a slight theoretical advantage because of the weakness f6.
Yeah, but then Black could play queen g4, queen h3, even if rook e8, queen h3, and starts jump around.
Yeah. This is for me. This looks like a very natural continuation of the game.
For me too. Yeah. It would be nice to play it. Yeah. What about time? Maria has 29. Hu Yifan has 26. Yes. Okay, they are close. Mo is number 21 now, rook d8, 21, 21 move, 20 moves. Okay, they are not very fast today. No. Not slow, but a bit slower than average
Yeah, actually
pace.
Maria was playing very well in the opening. She was playing good moves and quickly. And then she started to think too much instead of playing just natural moves.
Natural playing in such position, as I told, is not necessary to jump to g4. It's necessary to play bishop e6, bishop d5.
Yes, and she should have done it later also.
Yes,
she later should have corrected time to...
Because necessary to exchange white square bishop.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, she is not, let's say, very familiar with the position. She knew generally plan, but not very precise, yes?
Yeah.
Because she had not really big practice here.
Yeah, also the move knight d4, it was not called for.
Yes, not called. Relax, bishop e6, play queen d7, bishop d5, step by step, slowly.
It was the threat was actually stronger than the execution.
Absolutely.
Because white has to worry about this. When is knight d4 coming?
Yes, knight d4 later.
It was no hurry about it. So
no hurry. So it was clear that she knew the position, how to play, but she had not experience. She knew the plan, but when you have experience in the position, you know how to precisely conduct this plan. Slower, or some preparational moves, or some improvement of the position, and so on and so on. Yeah. So it is experience. Such strategical position demands experience, not just knowledge of the plan, but experience of how to handle this plan. Yeah. Because plan can be handled different way. Faster, slower, more precise, less precise, and so on. Yeah?
So I would definitely have preferred just rook e8 instead of knight to d4.
I like bishop e6 immediately.
Even bishop,
because knight g5 would be not possible. Bishop d5, e4, knight d4. Queen is on c1.
Yeah. Also, it's with bishop on e6. It's always white has to think. The rook is basically occupied.
Yes.
Protecting a2. So that's why bishop e6 was.
Bishop e6 always is. Bishop g4
was
a bit too aggressive. Not aggressive, but not in the, let's say, in the system with other positions. If she would be able to play queen d7, bishop h3, okay, it would be possible, exchanging bishop. But it had no time. She had no time to do it.
No, after the opening, it's basically black had a position which could have, it's like a Sicilian reversed.
Yes, it is.
And white had been losing time with a queen.
It's dragon. Generally,
it's a kind of dragon. It's one of my favorite openings, so I like black here. Because black has many good positional things. Pawn on c6, it's like a stone wall against the bishop on g2.
Of course, and and many interesting improvements. Not just one. Black could try from different sides. White plan is a bit limited. Yes.
Oh yeah.
So what she wants to play now?
We can let's go back to the current position.
So rook d8 is one option.
Yeah, it's only one option. Let's.
But she is thinking, so it's interesting.
But was it necessary to play back bishop e6? What is bishop? Why not? Rook. Rook e8.
Rook e8. Wow.
Yes.
Rook e8.
That's a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, because what to do on the e file?
I think she's probably just thinking about going directly knight c7 to d5, and try to keep the isolated, and take with a, end up by taking two times,
probably.
Yeah, that's
and protecting rook and maybe to take this queen.
Absolutely.
Yes,
absolutely, and she would be slightly claim a slight advantage.
Correct. Yes. In this case, if she will be able to keep opponent's isolated pawn, she would have slight advantage. It would be very nice to stop it. So let's make some small break.
Thank you very much, Grandmaster Marheyer Patterson.
Thanks.
It was always our pleasure to have you here around, and especially explaining to us some really deep, let's say, deep things about this kind of structure which you play.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Lviv, with ancient architecture and magnificent atmosphere, a European city with Ukrainian soul, where everyone drinks coffee, savors chocolate, and plays chess.
Chess capital of Ukraine, the city of Lviv, hosts the FIDE Women's World Chess Championship match this spring from 1st till 18th of March. Maria Muzyczuk from Ukraine and Hu Ifan from China will come together in a duel for the title of Women's World Chess Champion.
18 days, 10 games, impressive chess battles and uncompromising fight.
Witness the birth of the next chess queen in the city of Lviv.
What would be cool to have in your company? Let's ask our ladies.
Have my lunch in the park. Have a relaxing massage.
Band and acquire.
Looking for your IT partner? Symphony Solutions. Cool to work for, cool to work with.
Мріяти – загальновідома формула успіху. Мріяти і діяти – формула, якою керуються перші. Прагни першості.
I've always wanted to introduce them. Classic style, elegance, sense of rhythm, slow tempo, tart flavor. They've so much in common. Scent of rain and flavor of sweets. They know how to surprise day and night. Being with them makes me feel cozy. Which one of them do I love more?
Lviv is worth meeting.
Не боятися падінь – загальновідома формула успіху. Мати силу встояти – формула, якою керуються перші. Прагни першості.
What would be cool to have in your company? Let's ask our ladies.
Chat with my colleague at the fireplace. Morning yoga classes.
To have my coffee served.
Looking for your IT partner? Symphony Solutions. Cool to work for, cool to work with.
So we are back with our transmission. After Rook E8, Hu Yifan decided to play very drastic move, I would say, very drastic decision, stopping the power of bishop e6, playing b3. Generally, such moves are not very much recommended. Like b3, but according to Capablanca, the rule is necessary to, if opponent has bishop, it's better to place pawns on the color of this bishop. But it makes some weaknesses around. But on the other hand, of course, if we consider a3, okay, but c3 square is not available for black knight, so but rook d1 will be met with bishop b3. For example, if black tries to attack something, or even let's say even a3 rook d8, yes. If white plays rook d1, rook a1, then it will follow bishop b3. Yes. Sometimes it's not so important, not so pleasant way of making some holes. We can say b3 makes a bit cheesy position. Yes, like in Swiss cheese, there are holes in the position. So Hu Yifan played b3. Yes, trying to keep b square b3 under control. Of course, generally I think it's clear that Muzychuk has to think about knight c7, knight d5. It's the most natural transposition of the pieces in this position. Yeah. Knight c7, maybe someday, maybe knight b5. No, but knight b5 not very realistic threat, but still.
So it's equal position, right?
Yes, around equal, but okay, black is quite comfortable, yes, quite comfortable, no problems. For black here in this position, we can't see any small, even small problem for black. Position is very comfortable, but it's not easy to play for win, to do something. Okay, if black plays knight c7, knight d5, then some exchanges, black will keep some advantage, yes, some pressure. So, but is it sufficient for win or not? So I must say that up to now, Marichka play is very solid. Some moment not the most precise handling of this position, but she needs more experience, you know, playing this kind of position. If she had it maybe first time in her career, something like that, then it is, of course, not easy. But she knew the plan, the most important. She did not knew it, let's say, not till to the end, but on the top level, of course. But why she's thinking, I don't understand so much. Because knight c7 is
natural move.
Not just natural, it's time to get rid out of this knight on a6. Hu Yifan had knight on a3, the same knight, similar. She improved it to a3. Now Marichka has to do it. So what to think about? To come to 18 minutes, yeah? Why to think? Not necessary to think so much. Yes, some situations necessary to make, let's say, practical decisions. Not to think, just make move, improve position, make move, which is more or less not forced, but it's very natural, yeah? This improvement of the knight, because it's old rule of the worst piece, yes, in chess. If there are no direct threats, direct tactics, so you have to check if you have very bad position, very bad piece, the worst piece in the position, which is not performing its duties, let's say, and to improve it, yes. Maybe she's thinking still about some improvement of the position.
Maybe she's thinking about knight c7, h5. What do you think about move h5?
h5, even gh5 is possible, and then h4. And h4, yes, even. But okay, g5 is natural. Then it's necessary to be careful with this pawn after g5, yes. Then it can be even someday threat, maybe bishop f7, bishop g4. Necessary to be careful with such pawns. Such pawns can make some harm to opponent, but they can make some harm to own position. Yeah, so it's double-edged. Yes, double-edged weapon. But still, why Marichka is thinking
Maybe
so
rook
much?
e2 in this position, but bishop f7, yeah?
Bishop g4.
Bishop,
G4,
yeah, or
immediately
bishop G4
attacking, yes.
more dangerous. Okay, what if rook e2 in this position?
The same bishop g4 is
Yeah.
possible. Bishop g4 is always possible, yeah? Oh, black is...
So what white should play here?
White has to exchange properly on d5.
But okay, white to
yes,
move.
Yes, white to move, yes. Maybe queen a5, I was thinking. Queen a5, a6. Oh, queen a5, queen d4 is possible, sorry. Because knight is protected on c7.
Yes.
And queen protects pawn a7.
a7.
Yeah. It is quite natural and quite logical move, so I don't understand really why Marichka is thinking. Maybe she doesn't see real advantage for herself, and I think that she could create more problems for Huifan, because Huifan played today opening without ambitions, without teeth, let's say, yes? Yes, without teeth. There was no danger for Marichka at all, yeah? No danger, it was easy to play, easy to find the best ways, and it was not necessary to think so much. Of course, she had to perform this position a bit more precisely, because how she performed, it was not, let's say, the most precise way. It was good, solid, but not more. Yes, okay. I told you, such move, she spent how much? 10 minutes, yes?
Yeah, 10 minutes.
10 minutes, yeah,
more
yeah,
than 5.
Yes, 10 minutes. For such moves, you can spend 2 minutes, especially, when you come to the, let's say, last 15 moves. Advantage of 10 minutes is so important, so necessary to have 10 minutes. Always we are just, let's say, thinking why we thought in some moment too much that it was more or less clear we were making some choice which was not so important, and we would spare some time. This time would be so important for the next development of the position, for the improvement. It would be so important to have more time in such moments. What Huifan will play interesting? Rook a d1 maybe, or what? Rook a c1. No, rook a d1, yes.
Is it possible to play bishop f3 and then rook e2, rook e1, something like this?
Possible. Black plays knight d5. Yeah, and
okay,
then
we can
rook
exchange
e2.
all pieces and it will be drawn, yeah. Because the small bishop g4 is really dangerous.
Yeah. Bishop g4 is really dangerous, yeah. It was not so... Okay, Huifan either is not satisfied because she did not create any play, yes? She was somehow not so much defending, but was trying to, let's say, to repair this damage which she done to her own position with this not ambitious opening, this weakness on e2. Then she was repairing with this knight c4, e4, yes? She is quite experienced to improve the position, even damage position, because in chess you have to do everything equally, yes? Sometimes you have a bit slightly worse position or slight tendency to some problems, so you have to know how to improve it, how to get this position back, on the track of normal development and to improve it properly, and it is very important ability. Defensive abilities is every player has to have. If one player is just attacking player, so he will have some problems. There were many players in the history which were just pure attacking players, and they didn't like to defend. Even if the opponent sacrificed a pawn for them for some initiative, they became very nervous, yes? They didn't like to play this kind of positions, they were not sure, and they made a lot of mistakes in such cases. And even when they were attacking, they performed absolutely great chess. There are few such guys, like, for example, Nezhmedinov, great player from Tatar player, Viktor Kupreychik, great Belarusian attacker. He was incredibly well playing this business. Yes, queen b4, yeah?
Queen d4.
The idea is to
attack the pawn on b7, of course.
Okay, Mariska has two choices: knight d5 and knight a6. Yes, both options are possible. Yeah.
So if knight d5, knight takes d5, bishop takes d5, rook takes c7, rook takes c7.
Yeah.
Or queen takes
c7, take both on d5. I mean this. Yes, you mean this variation. Yes, I think knight e6 Marichka will play because it's more natural. Here to repeat position: bishop knight takes, bishop takes. Okay, even rook, even bishop. Okay, let's say this: queen takes, rook takes, bishop takes, pawn takes, rook c1. And even rook e2.
No, Maria played knight d5. She didn't play knight a6.
Yes, knight d5, yeah. Okay, knight d5 is easier, another knight. But knight a6 was easier possible, because Maria is slightly better. And I think knight a6 was forcing white to repeat the position, yeah. So knight d5, yeah. Knight d5 automatically followed, yes, bishop takes, yeah. Now they are changing everything. Chopping the wood, yeah.
But you see again, the problem is time. I think 15 minutes for how many moves?
Yeah, but now position is very much simplified.
Yeah, after
simplified,
knight d5,
yes. Rook
you are
e7,
right, but
yes.
after knight a6, I mean.
No, but anything would be repetition. The same. Queen d2, knight c7. The same repetition. Yes, she will take this queen now. It's very nice. Our colleagues in Ukrainian studies, they say it's late. It's late. No, it's late to comment something here. No comments. It's draw. It's late. Yes. Relax. It's late. Yes. Yes. As we predicted. Yeah. We predicted drawish line. Absolutely draw. Absolute draw. Yeah. Yeah, both players decided. You see, tough match. Now Marichka is making second draw with black. Yeah. So she survived black color. Two difficult games. There are very, very important games where. And of course, Huifan is clearly not satisfied with the result. Yes, absolutely not satisfied.
So Maria took the same strategy as Huifan to make a draw with black and try to win for white.
Yes, rook c1. Yes, here and here there are moves king h6. Or king f7, even in king e6, you know, and it is absolute easy draw, yes, easy draw, because king comes to d6 and rook c7 plays. Nobody can play for win. Or rook e2 immediately, yes, king f7, classical move, yes, soft move. Of course, it is rook a2 was possible, but then rook c7 check, king h6, and then suddenly some move is a4, yeah?
Yeah.
Then, okay, it was necessary to play b6, rook a7, rook b2, rook b2. It was not big deal, yes, rook b2, rook b7, rook takes, a5, b5, yes, a6, b4, a7, okay, and rook here, yes, rook takes. It's the same business. A bit more active position for white, yes, a bit more active, but still the draw, but okay, king f7 was played.
Huifan played king f1 in this position.
Yeah, the same improvement. She wants to run to pawn d4. Yes, both are running to own pawns. Because if black plays king e6, black close e file, and then she will jump under the protection.
Also same.
Under the protection of the, you know, king cuts rook file for rook, and the white king will be easily coming to the center. Yeah, but okay, it will be like this: king d6, king d3, and maybe even rook c7. Even rook c7 is absolutely drawish position. Absolutely, yeah. No ways to
win for white or for black.
Yeah. But maybe then white could try something or not. This, and this. Yes. No. King b4. Yeah. The opponent games are very special, yeah. So this, waiting, yeah. Then something like g4, yeah.
King e6.
Yes. Okay, it was played clearly, yes.
Maybe rook e1, also possible to exchange the rooks.
Yeah, but I think it will be king e2 played. It's better to improve the position of the king. It was such desire, yeah. So it was, okay, king e2 is more logical move. Okay, Huifan thinks what to
Yes,
take, but you know, yeah. But okay, she doesn't play for win, clearly. Nobody plays for win here. Nobody plays. You know, to say that somebody can make mistake, it's not realistic. Not realistic. Never it can be realistic. Some slight, let's say, slight play is possible, but this leads nowhere. And players they are under strong, big pressure, psychological pressure, and they have to reduce and they have to take some rest as much as possible. So I expect that Huifan both are ready now to take a rest, because it was more psychological fight today. They were not very well familiar with the position. They knew plans more or less, but they conducted both not very precise, and opening play of Huifan was let's say, how to say, shabby, we can say, shabby, not really precise, something like this, yeah. Okay, I told, yeah, okay, players, on such levels they never play rook e1 in such moment. They want to have to improve kings, yeah.
So tomorrow Maria will play for white?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Which opening will be tomorrow?
Yes, which opening will be tomorrow, because Maria tried two different things in the first two games. Now, okay. But I mean that her handling of black was not bad. She made more points, as you know, as Huifan planned to make with white. She planned to make, I think, from 3 games more than 1 win. So now it will be third game for Maria. Maybe it will be time now to get more from the opening, because she was not successful in the opening of both games. Yeah. I mean, in the sense of getting some really advantage too, and the position in which she could press opponent to get some chances to win the game. Yeah.
Okay, she had some chances, but she didn't use it.
She did use, yes, she did use them, because once more, she had a few times positions which she is not very familiar with this kind of position. She had not enough practice to check it. She knew how to handle it, but not so deep. Yes, let's say she could do it much better. Yeah. Okay, rook c7 she will play, yeah. Absolutely symmetrical position. So, first symmetrical position was in the first game, symmetrical queen in game, yeah. And now it will be, in my opinion, another symmetrical position. I think rook c7 she will play. Or rook c8. Or rook e8. Yes, she will rook c7, yes. Okay, we predicted this business, yeah. No chances really to play for win for Huifan. Yeah. Our Ukrainian friends, Grandmaster Alexeyenko, believes that it was necessary to agree draw many moves ago. And we are, let's say, we think the same, but you know, for public it's necessary to show till to the end. The public understands.
But you see, it's interesting. They don't want to overdraw each
other.
No,
you know, because in match it is some sign of weakness. Some sign of weakness. They want to show that they are ready to fight till to the end. Yes, they will never allow opponent to be, you know, to relax and go to rest. Yes, it's strategy. What in match you have to? It is total fight. Yes. Absolute fight, total fight, and it's without real, let's say, without limits, yes? Because you have to be very strong psychologically and no other way. If you are not strong psychologically, you have nothing to do here in chess. But you know, it's once more, it's different in psychology between men and girls. Girls, they want to push it, keep this pressure till to the end. Men would be say, enough.
Okay.
Enough. 10 moves ago, they would say it's enough. It's clear that there is nothing to do for any of the player. It's a dead draw. They used to say such expression. Dead draw. Let's go. To prepare
rest.
to the next. Yes, to rest. No, prepare to the other game or to some football match. Yeah. Yes. Why not?
Yes.
It was known that Petrosyan many times, for example, he was making short draws in the tournaments because he was big fan of Moscow Spartak team, hockey and football. And with the hockey both, if it was important match, he always told the opponent, "Sorry, I'm today in the stadium, so let's make our job fast." It was Tigran Petrosyan who was, let's say, great, fantastic guy, fantastic player. We all loved him. Okay, opponents didn't love him so much because he was sometimes nasty. But he was really absolutely fantastic person. So why Huifan is thinking, I don't know. Okay, I don't
Maybe
think that
she wants to play Rookie 1.
Rookie 1, yes, Rookie 1 is 7, yes. Okay, look, she has no danger after Rookie 7, but Rookie 1, Rookie 7, it is the same
Funny.
business, yes. How it's better to make draw, but maybe they really want to make draw through some, let's say, repetition, because they don't want to offer draw. Say, Mariska could play Rookie 8, yes?
But I think they both ready to make this draw.
No, at the moment they're both ready, but once more, psychology plays. They don't want to show that I want to ask you for draw. Yes. I don't want to ask you for draw. I don't want to beg, yes? No, of course not begging. Yes, Rookie 1. They will repeat it, yes? For them, it's cheaper to make draw with a threefold repetition.
Yeah.
Not to tell draw, not to tell draw. It's a credible psychological difference between men and women here in chess. They will never say draw. Or draw? No. You see, yes, it's immediately repeated, say draw, and it's enough. You see, it was interesting game today. They played new opening. Huifan tried to play very flexible position, but she has no real, let's say, feeling for such kind of positions, and she went even in some moment into some not slight problems, but into some positions which she didn't know. Marichka knew the plan, but she conducted this plan too fast.
Yeah.
If she would be a bit slower, a bit better improved position, then she could create much more problems for Huifan. But okay, I think two last games were a big success for Muzechuk, in the sense that she survived black color after first loss with black. Now she feels comfortably, and it's time from tomorrow. Tomorrow starts second part of the match, and so full forward.
Lviv, with ancient architecture and magnificent atmosphere, a European city with Ukrainian soul, where everyone drinks coffee, savors chocolate, and plays chess.
Chess capital of Ukraine, the city of Lviv, hosts the FIDE Women's World Chess Championship match this spring from 1st till 18th of March. Maria Muzechuk from Ukraine and Huifan from China will come together in a duel for the title of Women's World Chess Champion.
18 days, 10 games, impressive chess battles, and uncompromising fight.
Witness the birth of the next chess queen in the city of Lviv.
What would be cool to have in your company? Let's ask our ladies.
Have my lunch in the park. Have a relaxing massage.
Band and acquire.
Looking for your IT partner? Symphony Solutions. Cool to work for, cool to work with.
Мріяти. Загальновідома відома формула успіху мріяти і діяти, формула якою керуються перші. Прагни першості.
I've always wanted to introduce them. Classic style, elegance, sense of rhythm, slow tempo, tart flavor. They've so much in common. Scent of rain and flavor of sweets. They know how to surprise day and night. Being with them makes me feel cozy. Which one of them do I love more?
Lviv is worth meeting.
Не боятися падінь. Загальновідома формула успіху. Мати силу встояти. Формула, якою керуються перші. Прагни першості.
What would be cool to have in your company? Let's ask our ladies.
Chat with my colleague at the fireplace. Morning yoga classes.
To have my coffee served.
Looking for your IT partner? Symphony Solutions. Cool to work for, cool to work with.
правильно говорить, що Львів – шахова столиця України.
І не лише столиця, але й колиска. Наприкінці 19 століття у кафе «Гранд» півсотні ентузіастів організували перший львівський шаховий клуб.
Все почалось в середині 19 століття, почалися тоді перші шахові клуби. І в Європі була така традиція, що клуби організовувалися в кафе.
Інтелектуальна гра стрімко розвивалася. Найкращі місцеві шахісти регулярно їздили в Європу на різноманітні турніри. Дві світові війни цей процес пригальмували, але не зупинили.
Але справжній такий скачок, стрибок, я би сказав, відбувся після 45-го року, коли до Львова приїхав видатний тренер Олексій Сокольський, який тренував Леоніда Штейна і виховав головного батька львівських шахів Віктора Даниловича Карта. І з нього все почалося. Віктор Данилович Карт виховав першу плеяду львівських гросмейстерів Білявського, Романишина, Марту Літинську та мене. І на основі цього пішов подальший розвиток.
Я ще пригадую, що дуже популярним було місце шахів в парку Костюшко. Там кінотеатр був, під кінотеатром колись стояли. Там навіть приходили більш знані шахісти. Можна було під шахівницю покласти один карбованець і грати, хто вигравав. Можна було приходити і виграти кілька карбованців. Це була досить велика сума в 60-ті роки.
Граючи завжди та повсюди, у Львові випликалась ціла школа шахів. Зараз у серці Галичини мешкає 22 міжнародні гросмейстери. Таким списком навряд зможе похизуватися ще бодай якесь місто у світі.
А всього в моєму списку є тих людей, які носять звання гросмейстера і пов'язані якимось чином зі Львовом. Чи тут народилися, чи тут вчилися, чи якийсь час мешкали і виїхали. Їх є 43 особи.
І, звісно ж, ніхто не сумнівається, що це ще далеко не кінець.
Матч FIDE за звання чемпіонки світу з шахів у місті Лева.
З 1 по 18 березня.
Стань свідком народження наступної шахової королеви.
So we are ready to start our press conference. The game fifth has finished in a draw.
Ми готові почати нашу прес-конференцію. П'ята партія завершилася в нічию.
And the score in the match is 2-3 in favor of Hou Yifan.
І поки що рахунок в матчі 2-3 на користь Hou Yifan.
I would like to ask the players about this game and the opening. I think it was kind of rare line today.
Хочу розпитати учасниць про партію, про дебют. Я гадаю, що це був рідкісний варіант розіграний сьогодні.
Ну так, варіант справді рідкісний. В принципі, мені подобається позицію, яку отримала після дебюту. Здається, в мене була невелика перевага.
The line is really quite rare, but I like the position I got after the opening. I believe I had some edge.
Ну, але поки що не можу сказати, в який момент варто було зіграти сильніше.
But right now I can't definitely say at which moment I should have played better.
Yifan, do you agree that black had some edge or you were estimated the position differently?
Пані Іфан, чи ви згідні, що в чорних була певна перевага, чи ви по-інакшому оцінюєте позицію?
Well, I mean, still, I mean, not so clear because the position, although the setup is, okay, white has nothing, but still, I mean, there's some play.
Не так ясно. В чорних була певна перевага в розвитку, в просторі, проте не так ясно.
So maybe you can show us some moments, some plans here, because, okay, maybe it's not concrete position, but
Може, ви нам покажете якісь плани, тому що це не конкретна позиція.
Or maybe a critical moment for both of you in this game.
Або критичний момент для вас обох в цій партії.
Тут не було якоїсь такої форсованої гри, щоб приділити найбільш критичний момент.
It was not a forcing game to point out some critical moment.
Тут я задумалася над ходом ферзь d7. Мені також здавалося, що можна піти ферзь f6, щоб не допустити ферзь f4.
Here I was thinking about queen d7, but I could also play queen f6 to prevent queen f4.
Але з іншої сторони я допускаю хід h3, після чого мені потрібно забирати слона з g4. Можливо, на e6, але тоді закривається лінія e.
On the other hand, this allows h3 move. Afterward, I have to remove my bishop, perhaps to e6, but that closes rook e8.
So you just decided to concentrate on e file, right?
Yeah, you're right. I wanted to double my rooks.
Тому ви вирішили сконцентруватися на лінії Є. Так, я хотіла здвоїти тури по лінії Є.
Ну, F6 не дуже хочеться грати, але якщо 3,7, то не знаю, що робити на ферзь F4 з різними там тактичними загрозами. Кінь 5, кінь D6.
I didn't want to play F6.
I didn't want to play F6, but okay, if rook e7, there are some tactical threats like knight d6, if knight e5.
After queen f4, yes, after queen f4.
After queen f4, sorry.
You find you spent also quite a lot of time before you played h4. What you were thinking about this position?
Well, definitely black's plan is double the e rook and to attack e2 pawn. So I think white has to figure out what to do. I mean, to keep the position or to open it.
Пані Фань, ви дуже довго досить довго задумались над ходом H4. Поясніть, будь ласка. Ну, очевидно, що будуть робити чорні, тиснути на пішака Е2, тому треба мені приймати рішення, чи тримати позицію закритою, чи відкривати її.
So you decided to play h4 and then e4, but it looks like your opponent could prevent e4 move by playing rook a d8. What would you do?
Тому ви вирішили зіграти H4 і потім Е4, але схоже на те, що ваша суперниця могла не дозволити Е4 ходом тура А d8. Що ви на це задумали?
Yeah, it's possible, but since black's idea was to double the rook, I mean, if rook a d8, I would just try to do some normal moves, because when the rook double on e8 anyway, I could still play e4.
Так, це можливо, але все ж ідея чорних була тура Е7 і здвоювати тури, тобто якщо б вони зробили цей хід, я, можливо, теж би зробила якийсь нормальний хід.
Would you like to say something else about this game, or it's for the audience?
Чи можете ви ще щось додати про цю партію?
Далі, я думаю, не так цікаво, так як після d4 я не думаю, що тут в чорних щось може бути. Білі хочуть піти d5 з розміном багатьох фігур. Так що, мабуть, тут позиція рівна.
The feather is not that interesting because after d4, black is planning d5 to trade up all the pieces, so the position would be equal.
You fine? You agree with all that?
Yeah, later on it's kind of just all the way exchange and then led to a quite showish endgame.
Подальше дійсно було просто розміни і зовсім нічийна партія.
Maria, today it's and you find it's Women's International Day. It's a holiday. I don't know what about China. Actually, you should tell us a bit if you are celebrating. But how was it to play today on the Women's Day?
Yeah, of course, Women's Day is an international festival, and in China we also celebrate. But I would also like to mention, actually, yesterday was the Girls' Day.
Okay.
Yeah, so normally, for example, for the young girls or even the university students, normally we celebrate on 7th, not on 8th.
Питання про 8 березня, що це міжнародний день. Я не знаю, як там в Китаї ви теж святкуєте цей день. Так, звичайно, це міжнародне свято. А зазвичай саме 7 березня ми святкуємо дівчачий день. Тобто вчора було більше привітань.
Ну, взагалі ми не дуже про це думаємо, коли граємо партії, але все-таки краще, щоб в такий день був вихідним.
We don't think about this when we are playing game, but I prefer such day to have it off day.
But at the same time, you got many presents and flowers. Maybe it's not a bad idea.
Але в той самий момент ви получаєте багато подарків, квітів, може не так погано грати в цей день.
Today the football players opened your game, and so the question is, and they also gave you the tickets for the match. Are you going to visit the match? And second question is, how often do you watch football yourself? And do you like this game?
Сьогодні перші ходи робили футболісти. Вони також вам подарували квитки на матчі. Чи ви збираєтесь скористатися ними, сходити на матч, а також як часто ви дивитесь футбол?
Ну, я думаю, це залежить від того, в який день буде проводитися матч. Так як у нас можуть бути турніри, тренування. Важливо, щоб воно не попало на наш графік.
So I think it depends on which day these matches are planned. So we must coordinate it with our schedule, tournaments, trainings.
Але, в принципі, футбол цікава гра, так що, якщо буде така можливість, то, звичайно, піду.
But I find football as an interesting play, so if I'll have chance, I'll visit match.
I think actually, unfortunately, it will be the same day as you play the game. So you have a choice to go to football or to play the game or
Я
finish
боюся, на жаль, що футбольний матч буде йти в той самий день, коли ви гратимете цей матч, тому вам прийдеться вибирати, приходити на свою партію чи відвідати футбольний матч.
Ну, тоді, я думаю, потрібно квиток віддати комусь своїх друзів.
So I'll give this ticket as a present to one of my friends.
You fine? What can you say about football? And what is your favorite team?
Пані, що ви скажете про футбол? Яка ваша улюблена команда?
If there is any.
Якщо є така.
Well, if you ask me some other, field of the sports, probably I can point out one. But for football, for me, I don't have any, favorite teams. Although now I found myself actually, how to say, already like to watch the sport than before, but still.
Якщо б ви мене запитали про будь-який інший спорт, я, мабуть, би відповіла вам, а саме про футбол дуже важко сказати. Хоча все ж можу відзначити, що тепер мені якийсь інтерес до футболу появився. Раніше я його зовсім не любила.
It's kind of interesting that the men players, they watch football all the time, and I always ask this question, women players, and most of them never watch football. I don't know what's wrong.
Цікаво, що шахісти, чоловіки люблять футбол, але я завжди задаю це питання дівчатам, і вони ніколи не захоплюються футболом.
I don't know why it happens. Do we have questions? Are there any questions?
Чи є питання? Преса. Since it's Women International Day, it involves not only flowers and presents. They also mention that it's a day of equality between women and men. So what can you say about maybe some kind of discrimination in this question in chess?
Відомо, що на даний момент чоловіки грають сильніше, але звичайно ж на це є ряд певних причин.
It's well known that men are stronger than women, but there is a number of reasons for this.
Наприклад, у них краща концентрація, краща виносливість, вони не настільки емоційніші.
For example, they have better concentration, they are more stable and less emotion, they have less emotions.
Для мене якось трошки смішно, коли я чую це питання, тому що як ви можете вимагати від жінок грати в шахи так само, як чоловіки, якщо умови від самого початку не є рівними.
It's kind of funny for me to hear such question. How can you demand from us women to play same level as men? Because initially conditions are not the same.
Але жіночі шахи останнім часом дуже прогресують, і навіть на самих найсильніших турнірах жінки досить часто виграють у сильних гросмейстерів чоловіків.
But still, women's chess are progressing recently, and even at the highest level tournaments, women's got victories over men.
I think especially Nigel Short is a victim last year.
Особливо в Найджела Шорта погані результати проти жінок.
After his article about women players.
Після його статті дискримінаційної.
You fine? What can you say about?
But what is the question?
The question is about difference between women and men in chess.
Only in chess?
Yes. Today it's about chess. We start from chess. And can women compete with men?
Oh, well, of course, it can compete. Although there is a huge gap, as we can see, obviously from the, rating difference.
Звичайно, жінки можуть боротися з чоловіками, але все-таки різниця велика. Можна бачити це по рейтингу.
Yeah, except of course the reasons that Maria mentioned is the reason why it makes a difference, but also we shouldn't ignore that actually the men's participants who attracted on chess has a much more base than women's. Much more number of players.
Також треба брати до уваги, що якщо взяти турніри, то просто чоловіків-учасників більше, ніж жінок.
Yeah, so that's why when there are more players, it's possible that there will be more top level appeared.
Але жіночі шахи є прогрес, тому можливо, що буде на топ-рівні з'являтися все більше жінок.
But what is your goal? What is your goal? Would you like to compete with the best players in the world? And this is what you want in chess?
Що ваша ціль? Чи ви хочете грати на рівні з топ-гравцями? Чи це є ваша ціль в шахах?
Yes, of course, I would like to participate in the strongest tournament. I've been played with the top players more than once. There is some strong tournament I participated, like I can say, and Dortmund.
Звичайно, це моя ціль грати в топ-турнірах, але я вже грала з багатьма топ-гравцями, наприклад, в Ейканзе, в Дортмунді.
But of course, I hope that my general results could be improved.
Але я сподіваюся, що загалом мої результати будуть ще покращуватись.
Ще питання?
Any more questions?
He does?
No. No. No, we got the same menu. Totally same.
Okay, so you have already tried some Ukrainian cuisine, yes?
Ukrainian food. Have you tried Ukrainian food?
I just tried in the hotel.
Yes, okay, it's kind of Ukrainian.
Do you like it? And if you tried, what it was?
What is the name of the food?
Спочатку звучало, що ми знаємо, ви вже пробували китайську кухню, шеф для вас готує, потім Хуйфань відповіла, що ні, таки не готує. Друге питання прозвучало, ви пробували українську кухню, як вона вам смакує, наприклад, борщ?
Yeah, normally you have the dishes in the hotel, and there are two different restaurants. The menu has a slightly difference, and generally the food is it's okay.
Загалом ми їли їжу в ресторані, і ще в нашого готелю, і ще в інших. Враження хороше.
Okay, thank you. Other questions? Okay.
П'ята партія, п'ятий дебют. Виглядало, що ви заграли італійську, іспанську, англійське навчало, і раптом дебют трансформувався. Я би хотів знати, як ви могли би назвати якось наближено до якого дебюту сьогодні ви розповідаєте?
So the question is, it's fifth game, and we see fifth new opening. It was Spanish, it was Italian. Now it started like English opening, but it was transformed into something. How you name this opening? We couldn't figure out what's the name for this opening.
Maybe we will create a new name now. How would you like to
Lviv
name
line.
this?
Ну, я думаю, що індекс і так відомий, він має бути визначений. Я думаю, тут написано чи ні? Ні.
A11.
A11.
No, Maria believes that each chess opening has its own index, so its computer defines it automatically. So,
But how would you name this opening if you had a choice? Let's put it this way.
Ми не збираємося, я думаю, називати це нашим варіантом.
як би ви назвали цей дебют, якби вам було дозволено? We are not going to do this.
Fine. What can you say? Also, the same index is fine here, or?
Yeah, and also normally, you know, in Chinese the names are kind of normally translated, and I could say that sometimes there are big difference. Okay, sometimes it's very similar.
Ви знаєте, по-китайськи на дебют ще по-інакшому називається, тому іноді різниця дуже велика. Вони деколи співпадають, але буває різниця, як правило, велика.
So, and here, how would you call it in Chinese, or you can say in Chinese?
Назвіть, будь ласка, по-китайськи, як це звучить.
Well, of course I know how to say English, but this one probably will figure out.
Я думаю, буде достатньо назвати ж один з варіантів англійського початку.
Okay. One of the variations of English opening.
Америка вже переклала. Один з варіантів англійського початку.
Питання до обох учасників. Чи вони задоволені результатом сьогоднішньої гри?
Question for both players. Are you satisfied with the result of today's game?
Я думаю, для початку потрібно її вдома проаналізувати, чи в мене були якісь шанси отримати перевагу.
At first I have to analyze it at home to get proved whether I had some chances for advantage.
Well, I think it's a normal game, and as I said in one of the previous conference, normally I don't do the judgment for any single game.
Я думаю, це була звичайна партія. Як я сказала на попередній конференції, я не роблю судження по одній партії.
So, thank you very much for coming to the press conference. Thank you.
Дякую за те, що прийшли на конференцію.